It begins. Let's take a look here. My live. Home. Is it live? Copy link address. Okay. I'm going to let everybody know that I'm streaming. At everyone. Streaming live now. And PP? No. There we go. All right. Play some games while we're waiting for calls. Peach, can you hear me can you hear me on Discord? Sometimes Discord does this thing. Okay, they say yes. Yes, sometimes Discord does this thing where it just doesn't work. Let's play some Stalker 2. I've been installing a bunch of really high graphic games. Rain says, ew! Hi, Rain. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. I had the choice, right? I was like, spend time with friends or stream. And I decided to stream. That's how chronically online I am. Spend time with friends or stream. And it was stream. Man. How do you think I feel? Peach Melba says, what is this? This is a debate a woke liberal. Hello, I am a woke liberal. Call in the show if you disagree with a woke liberal. You know, we just had Donald Trump speak on stage to tell everybody, the American population, that, all right, if you're pregnant, to not take acetaminophen, which is a Tylenol. And also, Donald Trump has a very hard time saying acetaminophen. he was like sitting there reading the prompt. He's like, aceta, what is that? Acetaminophen? You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. Did I hold on? Where are we in the game? Oh my god! I need. There's a bed available there, but bruh, is there like a town? This looks like a town, but it very well may not be a town. Let's trust that could be a town. We're gonna trust. We're going to put our trust and hope. Peach Melba says, what is this game, by the way? This is Stalker 2. Stalker 2. Yep. 0, 0, 0, and then on Stalker 2. Gameplay, okay. Awol says, has there been any calls yet? Nope, we just started. Literally just started. No calls. Rain says no. That's correct. There have not been any calls. But hopefully there will be. Donald Trump just talked to us. And he believes that the cause of autism is pregnant women taking acetaminophen. And he was like, well, we got to wait for the studies to come in, but I think it's this. I was like, great. Awesome. Let's tell the American public something that isn't even proven in any way. Let's have RFK next to him and let that brainworm talk to you. Oh, we're getting a phone call. You're on the line with First Amender.
Hi, it's me, Amanda.
Is that Liminal?
I just wanted to say hi and state that I missed you.
Oh.
Seemed like you disappeared off the face of the earth.
I didn't disappear off the face of the earth. I made my own server.
Oh, where?
Discord.gg/First Amender. FIRST.
Wait, can you send me a link?
It's right here. You just type it. discord.gg/FIRST amender. You just type it.
Okay. Is that the one that you made recently?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just made it.
Alright, so it's... Say it slowly.
discord.gg/FIRST amender.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't seen you around.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
I see Space Apache around.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of people on Modern Day Debate that I really wish were not on Modern Day Debate. But yeah.
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 I just want to say that.
Yeah. Well, glad to have you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, or that was it?
That's it for now.
All right.
I don't want to take
Good
up
talk.
all your time.
Yeah, no problem. Good talk. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
They're so nice. 628. Well, that's great. All right. Well, we are taking calls. 202-998-5218. I'll set up like a timer thing for like 30 minutes because I tend to forget like when, like sometimes a conversation will get pretty crazy and, you know, I just let it run. You're on the line with First Amender.
Ahoy, hoy, First Amender.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Who is this?
This is Relion.
Relion. What do you want to talk about,
Yep.
Relion?
Well, first, so I want to talk about an actual topic, but you just said to that one lady who was just on, there are people you wish weren't on Modern Day Debate?
Yes.
Who?
Oh, there's like really racist people on there that like argue like unironic Discord terms of service breaking stuff, and the mods won't do anything about it.
Okay, so you don't think that Modern Day Debate, which is its own platform, should be able to host the people that they want to host?
The Modern Day Debate Discord, I feel that you have to abide by Discord terms of service. Obviously, the YouTube channel is a completely different case.
Okay, well, even with the Discord, though, don't you think that they should be able to?
No, they have to abide by Discord community guidelines.
Okay. All right. Okay, I just wanted to clear up that. I thought you were talking about a specific person, but all right, just checking now.
Yep, no problem.
Cool. Thank you for that. So, what are your thoughts on homosexuality?
I think that between consenting adults, you have a right to choose who you fall in love with. Especially considering that I have a boyfriend.
You have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sure... I'm sure you two are happy, and I'm not coming after you specifically, but it comes down to this. The whole... Being homosexual isn't inherently, in my eyes, necessarily, like... I don't have a personal problem with it per se, but the only justification for it is it feels good.
The only justification for having a relationship is that it feels good.
Well, no, not really. When you look at the broader implications of what relationships have done throughout all of history, which is what they were intended for, which is to create and propagate the human species.
You can propagate the human species without it feeling good.
Well, it feels good because you want it to. Just because it feels good doesn't mean you should do it. The kid diddler might think it feels good to a molested little boy, but that's not right for him to do. That's wrong.
We're not going to equate assaulting a child to two consenting adults deciding to engage in romantic relationships, are we?
Okay, no, fine. Let me use a different one. Someone who's 500 pounds, it might feel good for them to eat as much as they humanly can until they start throwing up.
I don't see how it's like causing I could see where like if somebody is morbidly obese that they cause a lot of harm on themselves. But I don't really observe that regarding like homosexual relationships, provided that they're engaged in safe sex?
Well, I mean, on like by its nature. So
also, just FYI, I want to go back to the it feels good thing, right? Instead of gish galloping.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day,
not?
you don't need relationships to make children. You could just make children, right? And then just F off. But let's be honest, right? A relationship is often because it feels good to be in a relationship. So if your argument is the only reason why people get into relationships is it feels good, therefore you ought to be able to say the same thing regarding heterosexual relationships, being that it just feels good and that's all that matters.
No, because it's not just about feeling good.
So then what is
Think
it?
about it like this. Does the actual act of pushing a baby through your vagina, does that feel good for the mother? No, it's painful.
Again, birth doesn't require a relationship. You could just have sex once and then go have a baby. So
yeah, but even
we're still back on it feels good.
Well, then that's a sexual relationship, though, because
that's what I'm saying is you can still the only reason why you even care about relationships is because it feels good. So what's the problem?
What do you mean?
Well, yeah.
It's
can you explain how it does? How it's not that?
Feeling good.
Then what is it?
So here's the thing. Because it actually creates life is the thing.
Again, I'm gonna repeat what I said because you're not listening to what I said at all. All right. You can have a baby without a relationship.
Yeah, but what are the likelihoods of that baby when he grows up having a good life, not going to jail if his parents aren't together?
Well, there's lots of kids that grow up and they grow up just fine.
Yeah, my argument isn't that there aren't. The argument is that statistically it's higher. Why is it that the majority of people that are in prison grew up in families?
So is your argument regarding so is the whole it feels good thing now just thrown away? I just want to be...
No, so my whole point by saying...
Okay, so then why don't you explain the it feels good thing, right? Because that was your entire argument. You were saying, well, the only reason why it matters for a gay person because it feels good, but that's also the same thing for heterosexual relationships. Why don't you explain how it's not? I've already explained that it is possible to have a child without a relationship. So how do you explain outside it just feels good?
That was my only argument, but my point by saying it feels good.
Yeah, but you kind of brought that up as your thing, and I kind of want to rip that one to shreds.
Okay,
right?
Fine. Well,
and so we're going to get, so what I want you to do, right, is I want you to realize how silly it is to sit there and say, well, it feels good, therefore it doesn't matter. But the thing is we kind of do lots of things that we only do them because it feels good. Let's be honest. Do you think that I could probably give you something that's nutritionally dense and it fulfills all your needs, nutritionally speaking, but it's also just I don't know, just some white block that you add water to it and it's relatively flavorless? We cook and make things nice and have dinner tables and plates, and because it's kind of nice. It feels good. Does that mean therefore it is invalid? We should not cook. We should just go with something that is just nutritionally dense and you just add water and be on your way. We shouldn't drink sodas. We shouldn't enjoy our lives as we know it. Do you see the problem with your argument?
Okay, I literally was making that point. The point I was making in regards to those types of relationships is that that's all it is. With a heterosexual...
No, that's not the case.
That's not the case. Yes, that's all. It just comes down to it feels
and
good.
Also, even if it doesn't really engage with what I'm trying to tell you, right? Because at the end of the day, a heterosexual relationship is the same thing. It just feels good. In terms of making a baby, you can make a baby without that, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, having strong socioeconomic status, that's going to be much better predictor at what's going to raise a child properly as opposed to not. Having good socioeconomic status is a huge predictor in outcomes for children. And so usually because you have two people that are able to pay for the child, that's basically enough. That and they get to interact with more than one person. But if you have a good socioeconomic status, you'll have things like servants, you'll have everything paid for. And so they basically get everything that they need in terms of, so it doesn't matter if it's a heterosexual or homosexual relationship. So we're going to just bury that. So how do you differentiate between like the regular relationship and the gay relationship, right?
Are you saying to me that only the uber rich people who have servants and stuff should be allowed to have kids? Is that the argument you're making to me?
No, I'm proving your argument wrong. You were saying that the only reason why it matters is because it feels good, but we do lots of things where it feels good. It still matters. It's still valid. You sounded like that you were trying to show that, hey, gay relationships are bad because all it does is a feels good argument. However, that's also the case for straight relationships. So why ought we have any relationship? Let's remove relationships entirely.
First Amendment,
based on your argument.
I probably should have specified what my actual claim is.
Why don't you help me out?
Yeah. Thank you. My claim is that homosexual relationships don't really benefit society. At best, they don't benefit society, and at worst, they harm society. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm sorry, what?
My claim is that homosexual relationships do not benefit society, and at worst, they might negatively affect society.
That's not true. Where did you get that?
Well, for one, just logic, understanding of the world. Do you disagree or do you agree?
I disagree with the claim that homosexual relationships degrade society. In fact, societies that are regressive in terms of relationship have much lower quality of living standards than those that openly accept gay individuals. Like, it's not even close.
So, to be clear, what I'm prescribing, I'm not saying that we should punish people who choose to live like this. I'm just saying that we shouldn't probably, promote it,
Well, this is the thing, right? I think that people ought be able to make decisions for themselves, and that's what makes for a better life for people, because it's not a one-size-fits-all. Also, I find you to be a very fascinating person, mostly because, the kind of stuff that you're saying, it sounds to me that you are parroting a really heavy right-wing Christo-fascist YouTuber, right? Like somebody usually people who are part of that manosphere. They tend to argue exactly the exact talking points that you're arguing, which are largely disproven. I guess I'm curious is where do you get your information? Is it, are you pulling it from Andrew Tate or?
Okay, well, it's very funny that you
Andrew
mentioned
Wilson?
that First Amendment because First Amendment, when I hear you talk, you kind of remind me, you sound like you're parodying all these freaking insane leftist talking points like Destiny or something.
Destiny?
Yeah, well, actually, in his case,
I don't even watch Destiny.
He's a pretty good debater, in all honesty.
Well, I don't even watch Destiny.
Okay, I don't watch Andrew Tate, dude. What's your fucking point then?
Do you watch Andrew Wilson?
I occasionally watch.
Okay, you do watch Andrew. Yeah. No, because the exact arguments you're making are arguments that Andrew Wilson makes, and I guess my concern to you is that I think you may have been pushed into kind of this really nasty alt-right pipeline without you ever thinking critically as to why you ought to believe those things. So I'll just give you an example. I didn't grab what I believe from some YouTuber or whatever. I grabbed what I believe based on the books that I'm showing here on screen. This is where I get my information, is books. I read a lot. I'll go from reading Kropotkin, which is a super far left, to Adolf Hitler, Mein Kampf. I've read these things is my point that I'm trying to make to you. And I've come to logical conclusions based off of things that I read. And it's just a shame to me that I see somebody as young as you sound, showing up and just giving these really awful, just alt-right pipeline kind of thought process instead of thinking for yourself. Have you ever been critical of what have thought?
Yes, often. What are you talking
Often?
about? These are all just things. Yeah, you're just assuming.
So why are you anti-gay?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not anti-gay or whatever like that. I just don't think that it promotes anything. It's not good for society. It's not.
Have you ever heard that evolutionarily speaking, it is actually good for society? Because that there are lots and lots of so there's lots and lots of abandoned children, not just among humans, but also just in general mammals, especially among social organisms, with social species. It turns out that gay couples, what they do end up doing is they adopt abandoned children. This helps propagate the species, so it is beneficial.
You know, it'd be even better if a man and a woman, not a gay
it's
couple.
Not all the time. They sometimes
That'd
just
be
want
better.
their own children, but we're talking about inevitably abandoned children.
Yeah,
Understand?
and I'm saying that those inevitably abandoned children could have parents that are not homosexual.
Again, you can have a loving homosexual couple take care of a kid. I don't know where you're getting the idea that they're incapable of doing so.
Well, I never said that they were incapable. I'm just pointing out that it's not ideal.
I mean, to be fair, right? Like, do you think that like do you think that a man can be a teacher?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Positive.
But I don't know. I mean, if I look at the statistics about people who cause violent crime as well as sex offenders, I believe it's 98% male. And considering that men
correct.
tend to be violent sex pests, maybe they shouldn't be teachers.
Okay, so you agree me with that two men, like two homosexuals, shouldn't be allowed to have kids because of these
Well, no,
facts?
I'm just curious if you would go down that route, right? Would you agree that men should not be teachers because that they are because they have a higher prevalence of being sex pests?
No, dude.
Why? Wait. You were all about
all.
that science and statistics, and now all of a sudden when I involve your demographic, now for whatever reason, you have a problem with it. Why?
No, this is a total straw man because guess what, First Amendment? Men, while yes, they do all the bad stuff, I'm not going to lie.
It's not a straw man. I'm giving it a straw man means that I am taking your argument. A straw man means that I am taking your argument and I'm portraying it into something that it is not. I am framing an argument specifically for you to address because it uses the same logic of your anti-gay perspective.
Well, here's the thing, First Amendment.
Right?
Well,
Because if you say that statistically speaking, gay kids, if you say that gay people should not raise children because they have a higher propensity of causing issues in the future, as opposed to a straight couple, then given those same statistics, I could say, for example, well, men should not be teachers because they have a higher propensity of being violent sex criminals.
Well, here's the thing, though. All the best teachers in the world are all men, though.
That's not true. I don't know where you got that.
Okay, so
where did you get that? In fact, women are often better teachers because they empathize better. Also, they're not sex pests.
Really, you don't think that woman,
So what I think is that I'm just going to tell you, like, what I believe is, I believe that I look at individuals and what they do individually and then come to conclusions based on those individual actions. I don't apply a stereotype on a group of people, even if there is a higher propensity, statistically speaking. Do you understand?
Really? So
yes, really.
Okay, so that's totally forgetting the fact that humans are basically a species of pattern recognition. That's all we do. Tribalism, racism, literally all of that is just
so what we do instead, right? What we tend to do is we push back against tribalistic notions and move in favor of higher level thinking.
Well,
right? We do this all the time. Like it's totally by the way, just so you know, it's totally natural to like eyeball stuff. it's not natural to use calculus, differential calculus, to determine the exact location of a planet at any given time. That's not normal. Okay, normal people don't do that. But we do things that put us to a higher level of understanding, right? And it's not bad to do that just because we don't naturally do that thing, right? You understand?
Yes, and
so maybe it would behoove us to not apply naturalistic fallacies on our arguments.
Okay, so First Amender, just because we apply naturalistic understandings of the world, you realize that there are so many.
What is a naturalistic fallacy?
I didn't say naturalistic fallacy.
I'm asking you, what is a naturalistic fallacy?
Well, I don't think I've ever heard that term before. If I had to guess, it's some sort of fallacy or straw man about having something to do with naturalism.
It's otherwise known as what if I told you it's otherwise known as an appeal to nature? Ever heard of that?
Okay, appeal to nature. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Okay, so for a naturalistic fallacy, I would say that we don't want to do a naturalistic fallacy because that doesn't really establish as to why it ought to be that way. It's just an appeal to nature, right? And so you're appealing to a tribalistic idea, but we have higher orders of thinking than a tribalistic notion.
Okay, so First Amender, I'm not even appealing to a tribalistic nature. I'm just
pointing
out human nature. I'm pointing out
human
nature.
Yes, that's the tribalistic fallacy. Yes, it's your naturalistic fallacy. Yes.
Okay, either way, how is that a fallacy, though?
Because it doesn't explain why it ought to be that way.
Okay, so First Amender, why it not ought be that way, that we don't allow, let's say, homosexual couples to adopt kids. The reason why is because, at the end of the day, a child needs both a mother and a father, not two randos.
That's not true.
As simple as that.
That's not true. That's highly dependent on the situation.
Doesn't need his father and a mother. Is that what you just said?
That is entirely dependent on the situation. You can look at cases such as Abrego Garcia as really good examples of just because you have a biological mom and dad doesn't mean that you lead to better outcomes. There's lots of instances where it leads to much worse outcomes to not do so.
Yeah, but specifically speaking, those are yes, that's true.
Yeah, so you have to look at it from an individual point of view instead of your homophobic point of view.
I'm not homophobic.
You're literally saying that gay people that should not be able to adopt simply for the fact of being gay. That is homophobic.
Yeah, how is that homophobic?
Because you are specifically applying a generalization towards gay people in order to take away their rights, such as being able to adopt children, something that is just generally enjoyed by a lot of people. I'll grant you that there are some people that probably shouldn't adopt, but again, a gay couple, just for the simple fact of being gay, is not the factor. I would rather them be in a loving home, right? That can help pay for their child. I think that's what's important. That's super important. That's more important than, oh, well, they're gay. I don't want them to, be around parents that are gay.
Okay, First Amendment, you're strawmanning my point because it's not about them being gay. It's about them being same sex.
What?
It's not about them being gay. It's about that it's a man and a man or a woman and a woman.
So what does that matter?
Because,
can a man and a man not take care of a kid?
Not as well as a man and a woman
That's dependent. If you have an abusive father and a non-abusive mother, that's going to be way worse than two non-abusive dads. It's entirely dependent on the individual.
Okay, so First Amendment, here's the thing. The majority of parents...
Yes, you're applying now that's a hasty generalization fallacy. Dude, you are just riddled with fallacy. Dude.
No,
let me help you out, okay? Let me help you out. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. Here's what you gotta do, right? All right.
Okay, here's what I gotta do, man.
The current efforts that you're placing watching Andrew Wilson, I need you to unsubscribe to that guy's YouTube channel. That's step one. Step two.
Subscribe to you?
Step two, right? Is get an Audible subscription, right? Step three, listen to it as if it's a podcast. I promise you, in a year's time, you will stop having these idiotic arguments. I promise you that.
Okay, First Amender.
You will be far more cogent. You will likely, if you start now, by the time you're my age, you'll be much smarter than I am. Lot smarter.
No, First Amender.
Yep.
No, First Amender.
Yes,
I will do that.
yes.
I will do that, okay? I will do that.
Unsubscribe from this moron.
In exchange,
right? Start with epistemology, Belinda's Beginner Guide. It's a great book.
I don't know, dude, can you let me talk for a second? Okay, First Amender. I will do all of that. However, in exchange, here's what I need you to do.
Okay.
I need you to go high up into the Himalayas, all right?
Okay.
Sit with the monks. Drink yak milk all day, and if you can come down from there, I guarantee you will no longer believe half of what you do. Maybe get some muscle, maybe work out a little bit. I don't know, something.
I mean, have you seen me flex?
Yes, I've seen you bring up your chicken bones.
Look,
I totally get it, dude. There's nothing to be ashamed of. No, yes, I can see you. Yes.
You can see it?
That's me trying hard to flex. Yeah, I can see you, dude. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm working on getting a little bit of muscle myself, dude.
I'm not little.
Maybe if you just be
Fuck you, man. I'm toned.
What?
Yeah, look.
You're... Okay, fine. I'm sorry. You're a bit toned for your size, all right, man?
What
all
happened? You're all like, oh, he's just a soy boy. He doesn't work out. But I've been working out for a while.
Oh, I believe you. Maybe just do a little more of it, and I don't know, listen to less Destiny. Maybe instead of reading all my studies and my books, have a little life experience. Go out into the world. I don't know. Maybe
read some books, buddy. Dude, you're like 12. What do you mean go out into the world? You literally popped out of a fetus, and you're just like, and then you watched Andrew Wilson, and now you're like, guys, I have it figured out. Do you think maybe, just maybe, you could be missing some information?
No, what are you talking about? Okay,
you popped out of a fetus, watched Andrew Wilson, and we're like, wow, this guy sounds base as fuck. He's owning the libs. Do you believe that you maybe don't have everything all figured out?
Out of a fetus.
Yes.
What the hell does that even mean?
Sorry, you popped out of a vagina. Yeah, you popped out of a vagina. Right, I misspoke. That's fair. I'm a human, right? This is a live show.
Yeah, sure thing.
You popped out of a vagina. You watched Andrew Wilson, and you're like, wow, I have this whole thing completely figured out. There is absolutely nothing else to learn in the future. Dude, seriously, get out there and read a book. Andrew Wilson is a moron, and so is his wife. Did you know that his wife unironically believes that Beyonce pushes her music through the occult? She actually believes that Beyonce is like satanic, dude. You should read her book. I read it. She's actually insane.
That's just a straw man of her point, man.
It's really not. It's unironically what she wrote in her book. And when I pointed that out as the reality when I debated her, she completely crashed out because she knew that I read her book.
Oh, what? Okay, I'm not even sure why we're talking about this now.
I'm just saying, man. Like, these are the people that you look up to. These people are unironically insane. Have you ever said your ideas like amongst your family? They've probably looked at you and were like, this dumbass fucking kid. I guarantee you.
Okay, you know literally nothing about me or my family. We are perfectly happy. Dude, can we get back to the point? This is just ridiculous. You're going all over the place, so get out of
You got 2 minutes.
What we should actually be talking about. 2 minutes. All right. Oh, 2 minutes?
Yep, you got 2 minutes.
You did not get a you filibustered like 5 minutes. I should at least get 7, dude. That was just 5 minutes.
You get 2 minutes.
Saying how long... whatever, fine. Okay, so here's the thing for Semitic. It comes down to this. Homosexuals cannot repopulate society if we use your insane idea, which just let everyone do whatever they want.
You know, you can inseminate people. You can still inseminate women and then be gay, right? You're aware of that, right? You don't actually have to have heterosexual sex to have more babies.
Yes, well, I do not think that we should do some.
And this is also under the presumption that literally everybody becomes gay. That's never going to happen, no matter what you do. So, like, the idea that there's like 10% of people that are gay doesn't mean everybody else becomes gay, and then all of a sudden we lose the population. That never happens.
If there was a new type of sexuality where people wanted to, like, I don't know, do it with a Nintendo cartridge, would you be supportive of that?
Yeah, sure. Consenting adults, I don't really care. You do you.
Okay, but... Okay, so
I don't really care. I mean, it's weird, but sure. I don't really give a crap. It's your life.
First Amender, them in a dead body.
Huh? No, I believe that there's like certain levels of desecration which isn't allowed. Yeah, like it's a social contract theory. Very simple.
Okay, what about them, a brother and a sister? What's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, I think that causes harm. Like, there's a lot of familial abuse as a result of that. So, no, I wouldn't agree with that either.
Okay, so First Amender, a brother and a sister, they're totally estranged. They've never met each other before. They just bump into each other one day, and they start dating each other. And then they learn they're related, but they keep on dating each other.
Yeah, it sounds like a really awkward Thanksgiving, bro.
Okay, so are you for that, though? Are you for that awkward Thanksgiving?
Not really.
Why not?
Because of the abuse that inevitably happens.
What abuse?
Well, so yeah, when you have two that are like that, right? It ends up causing problems amongst the family.
How?
Well, how? It just does. That's just what happens.
This is your argument you're making.
What do you mean? It naturally leads to that conclusion. What do you mean?
Okay, what if I told you that a guy who brings home his boyfriend or whatever to Thanksgiving, it's going to be really awkward for him and his family? Why are you for that, but you're not for this brother and sister?
Well, yeah, because that's entirely rooted into homophobia as opposed to, like, yeah. Anyway.
Okay, well,
anyway, I got to get going, but hope to talk to you soon, okay?
Dude. Okay, love it, dude. Say bye-bye. Bye, Theo.
Phones are open. 202-998-5218. That poor kid, man. All right. Colin, I'm willing to hear. That was Relion, everybody. I feel really, really bad. GGM says, now he runs away. What a bitch. No, I just have a 30-minute timer, man. I think it's better to for the rhythm of the actual show than to have somebody on for like an hour and a half. So, plus it's easier to edit and all sorts of good stuff. So, you know, that's all. Right now we are traveling to a spot. Taking calls, open calls, 202-998-5218. Debate the woke leftist. Honestly, the woke liberal. Honestly, the wildest thing, man, that just blows me away is like just how young that kid is. Man, he sounds so young, and he's like so deep in the sauce where I'm just like, oh man, where did he get these ideas? Like, these are not his own ideas. These are ideas that he got from like manosphere, like anti-woke content, you know, on YouTube. And I'm just like, man, it's just the amount of harm that this is going to cause for this poor kid in the long run is huge. I mean, I don't think he's going to realize it until much, much later, where he expresses his hateful worldview, which will make things worse, I think. But we are taking calls, 202-998-5218. John says, when can we expect you to look stupid again and debate Andrew Wilson? I'd be glad to debate Andrew Wilson again, but I don't know if he would even want to debate me at this point. I mean, I'm a nobody. Like, this guy, you know, Andrew Wilson is huge. So it's like, you know, whatever. But I mean, To be fair, if anything, though, like when I did debate Andrew Wilson, he had like this giant like. Oh, we got a phone call. You're on the line with First Amender.
What's good, Amender?
Is this chaoswhy?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, chaoswhy?
Chilling, brother.
What do you want to talk
about? Kids getting younger and younger, going crazy these days. Bro, your last caller was wild.
That's what I'm saying, man. They're just like, oh, they're gay. They're in a gay relationship. They can't take, like, they're statistically less likely to, be able to take care of kids, or like the kid is going to be worse off. I mean, there are statistics that show that, but like, that's kind of like a very, very hasty generalization. Like, number one. And, I mean, the other thing is like, well, I mean, he seemed to throw the idea out the window as soon as it involves his demographic, men, right? So at the end of the day, all he has is, he just is looking for a reason to hate gay people. And the sad part about this is he probably, never even grew up with this sort of thing. He just watched Andrew Wilson and came to his conclusions on that basis. And it's like, that's so sad. I mean, like when I think about it, it's like, it's like, you get indoctrinated with horrible ideas. Like imagine like if your family was like all Scientologists and then you were like devote your entire life to Scientology as a result. It's like, you're just like indoctrinated to like a crappy system, It's sad.
That's the thing that bothers me. No, it's 100% true. That's the thing that bothered me about that is because like even in chat, I was curious. I'm like, are you getting this rhetoric because like you're religious, or is there statistics that you're backing up? Because look, if you're religious, right, and you say, it's not conducive because of my religion. All right, bet. At least you have a basis.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what basis this kid was even speaking from. Was it just feelings?
You know what's the worst part about that, Chaos? And I've said this earlier. Are you religious?
Yeah.
Do you believe in spanking?
I mean, I believe in spanking from like a Russian standpoint, because different culture. But yeah.
Okay. Do you believe in that global warming is real, and that we're negatively impacted? We could literally destroy our entire planet if we don't do something about it?
Yeah, I've watched it. Okay, so there's like ice in Antarctica that's like been slowly receding from the ice caps. I've watched the ice be there and recede to stone. So I've seen it. Yeah. Okay. What else?
Okay, so you at least believe in that. You're not anti-gay, right?
No, I'm not anti-gay. Well, no, I'm not anti-gay. But what do you mean by gay exactly?
Like people could just be gay, like consenting adults and all that?
Yeah. I don't care what people do. Right? Yeah, no, you can do your thing. At the end of the day, it's none of my business, right? I do have a religious standpoint, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to fucking throw the Bible at you because you're gay. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, here's been, like, my concern, right, regarding all of these sorts of people that seem to be arguing this anti-gay perspective. What if you're wrong? Like, about God. What if God's not real? What if there's no heaven? What if there's no hell? There's nothing answering you. When you die, you just dissipate to the universe, and that's it. That's the end of you. If you're wrong, and you believed all that stuff in the Bible, and to subjugate all of those people, you're just an asshole. Like, you just made life worse for everybody.
Oh, and 100%. This is why. So there are different ways on how people approach Christianity and how people approach preaching and doing a lot of stuff. Right? You have people that will be brazen about it. You'll have people who smack you over the head with it. You'll have people who just push through. They don't give a shit. And there are other people who actually have discernment skills, who understand when to speak about religion at what time. Funny enough, that's actually what the Bible says. You must know when you should speak the word. And at the end of the day, like, listen, if I was wrong, it is what it is. Like, you know, I still put my faith in it 100%. I don't care. But at the end of the day, I always stand on principles and morals, and I stand on the fact that, you know, I want everybody to succeed in life. I want the best outcome for humanity at the end of the day. I'm an anti-slavery advocate. Like, you know, there's a lot of stuff. And at the end of the day, you know, when I heard this kid speak, it sucked because I thought of one thing. I thought of, okay, let's say what he says does come true and no gay people can actually adopt. How many kids are going to be stranded in adoption centers because only a small minority of straight people even adopt?
It's true. Yeah, I mean, because it's like, why would you adopt if you can make your own? You know, which is true. That is the case. I mean, you would not adopt knowing that you could just make your own. I mean, this is what people often do. But, you know, with gay people, it can be very difficult to find a surrogate mother. They most often will adopt. You know, like, listen, I'm of the belief that if you're like a loving parent, who cares if you're gay? Why should that be a mitigating factor? Gay people are perfectly capable of taking care of children, right? Like, albeit, right? Like, I would, you know, vet them, ensure that, you know, they don't have a history of sex crimes or anything, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That would probably be, yeah, I mean, like, there's no reason that a gay couple can't take care of kids. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Bro, I'll be telling you, like, it's entertainment and the internet. You see what the internet does, bro? Every
it's total poison in the brain.
I'm warning people about the internet. This is what happens. This.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I do feel bad, but I'm not going to go ham on him because I keep it a buck with you. He sounded young when he was speaking. I heard his voice quiver when he was speaking fast. It felt like this was possibly his first time on an actual big platform or even on a live with somebody debating this. So, you know, total respect for him coming on. I love the fact that people have the balls and courage to actually come on and debate these things. So shout out to that kid for that. But damn, bro, that shit was wild. Oh, man. But yeah, that just wanted to hop in.
Was that all you wanted to say?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Chaos. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you.
Heck yeah, brother. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. All right, that was chaoswhy, everybody. Kids getting younger and younger, going crazy with this right-wing nationalist talking point. Phones are open, 202-998-5218. Let's take a look here. I'm actually kind of curious, like, what are the numbers of people that want to adopt versus those in foster care? Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is wild here, so you can see for yourself that I'm not crazy. So this is 2010 to 2019 abortions that happened in the U.S. versus the total foster care children that are in the U.S. and the actual total amount of children actually adopted in the U.S. You could see just how tiny the numbers are of those that wish to adopt. So, like, wanting to kind of shrink the already very tiny amount of people that do wish to adopt, it's just going to be a worse situation because a lot of unadopted children, they just end up becoming homeless, which is really sad once they reach 18 years old. But we are taking calls, 202-998-5218. I do want to hear out what you all have to say. That was a wild moment. Wild. Let me see here. All right, I think I have... Okay, do I just pick this up? Ooh. Got some good stuff. Let me empty that. Unload that. Put that down. I don't need the gun. Gun's worthless. Okay. I think we're good there. Retrieve, find lefties group. Okay. Looking. It should be here-ish. But that's the monster. Hold on. Help Xenia Blizzard? I did. He's dead. I didn't help them, though. Let's just find Lefty's group. Okay, so we're going to uncheck that because we're done there. I think we got to go find Lefty's group. Let's see here. Trevor Chatbot says, wait, are you an actual person? What about a woman who divorces her husband and then enters a same-sex marriage? Take the kids away? Again, that's entirely dependent on what are the better outcomes for the child. There can be argument to be made that they shouldn't, but there could be an argument to be made that they should. It just depends on whatever's best to the child. We have somebody who's in the Discord that would like to speak. So we're going to go ahead and invite them. We have Ond who would like to speak.
I'm back, baby.
Hello, Ond.
I'm sober today.
Look at you. That's good.
Yes. So I want to commend the kid who spoke.
Okay.
It was... he hits on some right points, and I would say, I support gay marriage or gay people in general, because there is no psychological aspect or an illness pointing towards gay people disrupting society in general. So feel free to do whatever you want and be attracted to the same sex and everything. I support that. This is what I would say. But you can make the general argument, especially from the conservative standpoint, that it's wrong. And the kid did that perfectly, I would argue. Because if you normalize the argument of gay people adopting children, for example, like you said, your argument was they want to adopt children. I would argue that it still doesn't change the birth rate of the West.
So let me get this straight. We want to increase the birth rate in the West.
Yes.
Okay.
The entire West. I'm not just talking about America.
Okay. So does that doesn't really have anything to do with gay couples, right? Wanting to get married.
No, but it is an argument from the conservative movement that gay.
But the whole concern is whether or not gay.
Not correct.
The concern is whether or not gay people be able to get married. Can they adopt children? And his argument was no, but he didn't really have a cogent argument as to why not. So I'm curious. Are you in favor of? Well, what you just said has nothing to do with gay people getting married.
Getting married. No.
Drop
I support that.
If you deny gay people the ability to get married, that doesn't increase the birth rate. Gay people don't just magically start having children just because you make it illegal to be gay or whatever. They just don't have children.
It is more of a
also, it is possible for a gay female couple to be able to have children. So it's not like that birth rates even decline by acknowledging gay people's existence to have relationships. So it doesn't have anything to do with birth rates. So rather than cite birth rate as like your concern, are you okay with gay couples getting married?
Yes.
Okay. And can gay couples adopt children?
Yes.
Great. We have a zero argument.
No. The argument is, back to the one I made, is why do you think the vast majority of the Western countries adopting an open border policy, which has never been done in the history of the humanity or the West?
So, okay. So we're not talking about gay relationships, right? We're talking about...
no, I'm talking about companies abusing and manipulating women and especially gay people adopting an African child. It has blown up immensely in Europe.
Who said anything about an African child?
No, this is literally happening in Europe currently.
Who said anything about an African child?
No, I'm not arguing what you talked about the child. I'm going into
Why are you bringing up like a weird racist thing as opposed to like talking about the birth rates?
Because I said the word African child.
Yeah, it's like, that nothing prompted that.
Why is it racist? Can you argue that?
Because you're using race to kind of show the problem behind something.
Okay, so we Europe in general invited.
All I said was something super racist. How is it racist? What? All I did was imply negativity to having a different race from what?
No, I'm speaking facts here. So
yeah,
European
and I'm speaking
people,
facts. Why are you saying that racist shit, bro?
Okay, so
you're like a grown adult.
Are you gonna take the question seriously? So
I don't even know what you want me to tackle. You gish galloped 1,000 points. You said, "Well, birth rate declines, and they're importing people, and 100%. Also they're African babies." Like, what am I tackling? What am I talking about here?
Birth rates are in global decline, reaching historical levels in nearly every country, falling below the replacement level of fertility rate of around 2.1 births per woman. And I implemented a simple argument that you still haven't responded to.
No, there was no argument. You gish galloped 3 points. So why don't you explain yourself?
You're currently interrupting me like you did with the kid.
Dude. All right. Hold on.
I implemented a simple argument.
Hold
Open.
on. So I have you server muted. All right. You're going to do me a favor, and you're not going to mention meta. Okay? Stop saying, "Oh, you interrupted, blah, blah, blah." Just talk your point. All right? Say what you have to say. Stop mentioning meta. Every right-winger does this. Stop doing it. All right? Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. So, open borders were the thing that happened. Is that meta? I don't know what's meta.
I don't believe in open borders, so I don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah. So, did open borders happen?
In where?
In every Western country except 2.
I think like the EU has an open border policy among EU nations, and it also accepted refugees across the EU. If whether or not you call that to be open borders, not really. Maybe if you're within the EU country, that would be the case, but that's not necessarily the case if they are in a non-EU country.
Would you call when Biden was elected an open border policy?
No. No, there was never an open border policy in the United States.
People came.
Yeah, it was never
20 million people.
It was never an open border policy. You had the ability of people being able to seek asylum and going through legal processes to become to get potential T or U visa status.
So, what's your argument that it wasn't an open border during Biden?
Because in order to have that, you needed T or U visa status, which requires you going through checkpoints and not an open
where
border.
have we seen that before? In Canada, during Liberal rule and Justin Trudeau, the Arrive scam app. And also, we found out in the United States, it was a scam app.
This has more to do with
the
Geneva. This has more to do with Geneva Convention standards than it does have to do with the specific immigration policy. It's dealing with refugee crisis. Geneva Convention standards.
Yeah, but where is Geneva then?
I'm not referring to Geneva itself. I'm referring to the Geneva Convention standards established by the United Nations.
Yes.
Okay, so what they're referring to is refugee asylee seekers. If somebody is a refugee asylee seekers and they can no longer go home, you are under international law obligation to take in those refugees. And that's what was being used for immigrants coming to the United States. They used T or U visas to do so.
Okay, so
it's not an open border policy, is it?
It is.
Okay, an open border policy means you can go to a border and just cross it. No regulation.
Yes.
That's not what a refugee status is.
I know.
Okay, and so it's not. There was never an open border policy in the United States.
Can I respond?
There was never an open border policy in the United States.
It was.
Again, it wasn't. You're just saying it was. It wasn't. You could just Google this as to whether or not there was ever an open border policy. There wasn't.
Okay, so if the government... No, listen here. This is an open border policy. If the government ignore protecting their border from illegal migrants, would you consider that an open border policy?
No.
Okay, so then we agree. It was an open border policy.
I literally just said I don't agree with that, and now you're saying I agree with that.
No, so you're interrupting. So,
but you're misrepresenting what I'm saying to you. Actively, and I said one word. All right, he's doing the meta thing again, right? You're doing the meta thing again. Don't do the meta. I don't know what it is with these callers where they show up, do the meta, and then like they can't actually, they're like, oh, you're spurging, you're this, you're that. And all I'm doing is just responding. Like, dude, please stay on topic.
I want to answer the topic at hand.
Okay,
please.
But don't misrepresent my point as if I said something that I didn't say.
When I start saying something, you keep interrupting me. But,
I'm interrupting because you're misrepresenting my point.
So...
You interpreted a no to be a yes.
Okay. So, you agreed that open policy is only based on laws, correct?
Or the lack thereof. I don't know. I don't like. The
lack thereof.
Like it's possible for there to be like a no man's land area where there wouldn't be any laws, and that would effectively be an open border policy. I don't think laws in and of itself means like open border policy. Yes. Again, but that's beside the point. The United States was not an open border policy under Biden. That's just not the case. You would enter into a checkpoint and you could call for asylum seeking process and then have it done that way. It wasn't it's under the Trump administration where they're just ignoring asylum seeking and just denying anybody who's asylum seeking. They've closed down the ability to asylum seek at all, which is generally a principle that's applied across all Western nations. It's only in the United States where that's not the case.
But it's actually not. But if I go on the sheer numbers of illegal migrants, you would think that is bad.
No, what I would want to do is observe that there's a lot of illegal immigrants and then be like, what is the process that's happening that's causing them to be illegal? Is it really hard to become a citizen of the United States? Are there not?
So,
is there not enough ability for people to do so? Do people have to wait a really long time to be able to do so? These are all things that I would consider if I saw that there was an influx of illegal immigrants. I would be like, okay, well, obviously we're not meeting the demand, so we should take care of that.
Okay. Can I please explain what happened to Sweden in the short term I have to speak? This was before Biden was elected, by the way. Can I please explain it? I've pointed it as a warning flag to the American citizens. Can I state that? Okay, so I guess I will. So the Social Democrats of Sweden, which represents literally the same policies that the Democrat Party did under Biden, decided to follow George Soros's letter of open borders for 8 years. They rule as a minority government. Sweden went from the third most safest country on the planet to the most unsafe in the West, I would guess. It wasn't counted Canada or the United States, so Europe. Let's say Europe. During this 8 times. Then we got a right-wing government who is literally not doing really well as well, and they suck. But during this time, when the right wing won, Sweden, by definition, won the most segregated election ever in times. What happened? For example, the majority of women voted for the Social Democrats to continue this invited open border policies and gang criminals, no-go zones, and go away from the safe community we lived in, to the majority of men realizing exactly what they voted for, strong borders and whatever. So it was the most segregated election in Swedish history. Overwhelmingly, men voted right. Overwhelmingly, women voted left. To continue 8 years, it had been continued. This just says to me, as a normal common sense guy, that women really don't care about policy. They don't care about politics in general. They vote really much with emotions. This can be proven that they are the biggest consumers of the West. Marketing campaigns are being used against them. So all of this connects with companies abusing women, political campaigns like the Democrat Party, which I see clearly, abuses and use women as their puppets. And I stand by this 100%. Okay.
Are you aware that there are studies that show that municipalities with large increases of violent crime were not the ones with the highest proportion of immigrants, nor the biggest growth in immigrant population, and that crime rose everywhere, but the correlation between immigrant share and the degree of increase of violent crime was weak to non-statistically significant in that analysis.
Thank you aware of that? Your question. Is actually your statistics is a fallacy. It's wrong, and it can easily be debunked by a simple question. Why is there no-go zones in Sweden for the first time ever? What do you think that is? Do you think it's a change in policy, maybe, or politics in Sweden?
I don't think you're understanding what I tried to tell you. What I just gave you is a very strong defeater to your argument, right? I'm trying to push you away from the idea
from immigrants. You want you don't
yes,
want me
because
to talk about
because
the
fact.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm not saying you don't talk about the immigrants. I'm saying that there are stats that show that in Sweden, in areas of the highest amount of immigration, it doesn't align with the increased levels of violence. In fact, we find one of the highest correlations of the increased level of violence is socioeconomic conditions.
Can you link the study?
Yes,
because it's not accurate.
It is accurate.
I can really look at this accurately. So in the north, we don't have a lot of people. In bigger cities, we have a lot of immigrant people, and we have no-go zones. So and the police refuses to go to these areas.
Again, I'm trying to tell you,
and we
right?
didn't have that.
I'm trying to tell you that it is socioeconomic conditions that allow there to be increased crime. But that's the case anywhere. If you lower socioeconomic conditions or make it harder to live, crime increases. That's one of the largest indicators. The idea that immigrants are causing the crime, the reality is that that doesn't actually correlate to the actual data. And under this abstract, and I'll just read it for you. It says global evidence indicates minimal connection between immigration and crime. Nordic research, however, has been generally carried out on individuals and shows that immigrants are overrepresented in crime. This has led to claims that high crime rates are due to immigration. We directed our study towards these claims by analyzing immigrant population prevalence, defining the percent of foreign-born individuals and violent crime in Swedish municipalities between 2000 and 2020. Nearly all municipalities had higher violent crime rates in 2020 relative to 2000. To discern whether drastic increases in municipality-level crime rates could be connected to municipality-level immigrant population prevalence, a retrospective case control design was used to select 20 municipalities with the highest increase in reported violent crimes and 20 municipalities with the lowest increase in reported violent crime rates. Immigrant population prevalence had little associations with the high rates of reported violent crime. The average association between immigrant population prevalence and violent crime rates calculated from all municipalities was also weak to non-significant. Right. Municipalities with a high increase in crime tended to have more crime correlates than municipalities with low increase in crime. However, more research is needed to the impact of migration in small towns, especially those that have experienced economic and social stagnation. So again, they looked at municipalities. They looked at municipalities that had more immigrants. So then you would expect to see that because they took in more immigrants, there would be higher crime. But we don't observe that. It doesn't actually correlate well.
But it just
so what actually turns out to no, it doesn't. It's the opposite.
It does.
The problem is that what causes high crime is going to be bad socioeconomic conditions. I would agree with you that if you bring in a lot of people from a country to another country, and there's like a semblance of xenophobia and non-inclusion in that culture, as well as there being lack of supply of things, then that would increase crime. However, if you're able to maintain socioeconomic status, it would not increase crime. You can, for example, observe, even in the United States where you have predominantly white population, but because that there are areas of the Bible Belt as well as the Rust Belt where they have poor socioeconomic conditions, crime is
You're
high.
projecting U.S.
Okay, it doesn't matter. This is the same case throughout the world. If you increase socioeconomic ills, this increases crime. Period.
But Sweden is famously known for having good socioeconomics.
Okay.
Correct?
Are you aware that there has been policy that has resulted in negative outcomes specifically for immigrants? That has decreased their overall socioeconomic status.
I agree with the simple argument of policies being made through the left is stealing taxpayer money, giving to couch potatoes who refuses to work.
Listen. You're bringing up another point instead of addressing what I tried to tell you. Right? You're just bringing up something else, as opposed to bringing up what I just stay on topic. No, stay on topic.
Yeah, I stayed on Sweden
because we could talk about laziness all you want, right? But we're not talking about laziness. Okay, I'm telling you. I'm pointing out to you that statistically speaking, it's not immigrants causing your problems. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, then shouldn't you expect in municipalities that took in more immigrants that there would be higher crime?
It is.
But it's not. I just read to you that's not the case.
Can I please explain to you why it's not? Why you're wrong?
I literally just read to you why that's not the case. Do you have a study that proves me otherwise?
This statistic, a simple law.
Do you have a study that proves me otherwise?
Can I explain the law change that happened? So you had communities that vote for different parties. Okay.
Let me help you out. I'm going to help you.
Can you please let me explain?
Causation.
Is that fine?
Causation does not.
This is why you think Andrew Wilson sucks, because you constantly interrupt him and don't let him make his point.
So causation does not equal to correlation. If you saw more immigrants and more crime in the same time frame, that doesn't mean one caused the other. Okay? There are tons of factors that integrate into increased crime. Social, economic, and demographics are more important than explaining your increase of violent crime in the sense of immigrants. Okay? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Am I allowed to talk?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes, I agree.
Every freaking time, dude. Stop bringing up meta. I'm asking you again. No, don't bring up meta. I'm just going to serve you as soon as you do that. Just explain your position.
Explain my position of Sweden. So can I please explain exactly a law change that was made in Sweden that totally debunks your thing, your statistics? Can I please explain that? Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So during an open border policy through 8 years of Sweden, the Social Democrats decided, the leftist party, that communities are not communities anymore, especially in regions of big cities. So we don't have a lot of big cities like in the United States. So, for example, Stockholm became region. It's a region, Stockholm. And then you have people, working class communities, rich communities. It's all counted to the region of Stockholm. All they did was try to manipulate the numbers to reduce crime, which is factually just logical. If you have so much crime in your own community, which was basically the Swedish Democrat, or not Swedish Democrat, but the Social Democrat Party of Sweden, you change the numbers just to make your party look good. And this is exactly what the Democrat Party is doing in the United States. And that was my point. And in every country. Macron is doing it in France and everywhere.
I don't know where you're getting that info. Yeah, I don't know where you're getting that. One of the largest decreasers of violent crime is actually due to the fact that we pulled lead out of gasoline, like unironically, like because there was less lead in the atmosphere, it reduces overall aggression, which has decreased crime. You're talking about
the United States.
No. That would affect the entire globe. The entire globe, because the entire globe uses gas. And if you have lead in gas, even in a country like the United States, it would increase globally. So crime is lower, not because the Democrats are trying to hide information. Crime is lower because crime is lower.
Yes. Do you support the working class in general?
Yes.
Okay. So the working class is sitting right in front of
3
you,
minutes
saying that we live in a fucking underdeveloped country. We cannot travel by communal service without being threatened by people. You can see it clearly in England, which is literally destroyed. The entire cities is destroyed. So I mean, I made my point, and I think
and I've explained to you why it's socioeconomic status that results in higher crime.
You're explaining statistics being made by the state.
Okay, so then what should I trust? You?
people
like I'm
living...
pulling up relevant data sources and relevant information, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying, well, you can't trust those
data.
statistics. Okay, very well. The statistics never mattered. You bringing up
What about
statistics
the
was
UK
just
and
a
Sweden
tool.
being-
All right. You bringing up statistics was just a tool for you to be racist as fuck. And then when I bring up the statistics that are against your point, you go, well, those are statistics. They're kind of run by Democrats. Can't really argue that. So I guess I'll just throw it away. How about this, man? Why don't you just hats off? Just say you're a racist. Just say you don't like brown people. Just say it. I don't know why you even waste your time trying to act as if that you're operating in good faith here. You're using statistics to prove your point, and then when I bring up statistics that show the opposite, you then go, well, those statistics are wrong. Explain yourself.
I want you to explain the difference between xenophobia and racism.
Oh, Jesus, fuck.
Yeah.
Good talk. Good talk.
I believe
talk.
you're the racist.
All right. Yeah. That's gonna be a voice, a ban, to be honest with you. And the only reason why is because I don't like racists on my server. If you plan on going to discord.gg/first amender to say some racist shit, I'm not gonna tolerate it. So we're gonna move on. Let's see here. Reason. Open racist in BC. But if you are willing, though, you're always welcome to call in and say whatever racist talking point that you have, and we'll discuss it and everything. I just don't want you on my server, if that helps. No racists on my server. We are taking calls, 202-998-5218. Let me go ahead and turn off the D&D mode. And so you should be able to call in. So call in, 202-998-5218. Or if you're in the audience on Discord, you can raise your hand. So I apologize. If you want to say a very openly, overtly racist talking point, my recommendation is call in. Don't join my Discord because you will not last long there. Let's see here. Bubblegut says, Amender is a racist. He said, all races can build their own communities except for white people because they are too dangerous. No, the problem that I'm having is the implication behind that. I just understand the difference of like historical implication. It's kind of like if somebody said the difference between white power and black power. Obviously there's like a huge amount of historical context. The historical context of white people's wanting to make white society is that it ultimately results in the subjugation of the minority. And it actually is pretty awful. But black people wanting to make their own society has just been like, okay, well, we've been excluded from white people's society, so we're going to make our own society, which, by the way, may I point out, have also been burned down to the ground. So I'm not a big fan of that. So yeah, I say history matters and history counts, and that's why the white society is more offensive than the black society. Ooh, phone number. You're on the line with First Amender. You're on the line with First Amender. Hello? Hello? You there? Oh, we got nothing. All right. Well, we are taking calls 202-998-5218. Amender uses his perception of historical context to justify his racism. Okay, here we go. We're a new call. You're on the line with First Amender.
How you doing, First?
How you doing? Is this Awol?
Yes, it is, sir.
How you doing, Awol?
So,
how's my favorite right winger doing?
On Saturday. Wait, I'm sorry. What?
How's my favorite right winger doing? I like talking to you.
I appreciate it. I like talking to you too most of the time. All right, I'm not going to lie. Saturday, you really pissed me off. I think that you really misrepresented Charlie Kirk in a lot of slanderous ways.
Did I? Slander? Woo! That's a charged term. Wow. Woo, slander. You know that's a legal term, right? That you basically have to argue, like legally, that I am defaming him based on things that he never did. Right. I just want to let you know, like, the level that I'm at is I believe that Charlie Kirk is a stochastic terrorist. Have you ever heard of that term?
No, I haven't. Please explain it.
All right. Here. So, stochastic terrorism, it's basically you describe the use of mass media by influential figures to demonize a person or a group, which incites a statistically probable but unpredictable act of violence from a member of the public. Because the call to violence is implicit and ambiguous, the instigator can claim plausible deniability, avoiding direct legal responsibility under the First Amendment protections for free speech that require direct imminent incitement of violence.
Wow, that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I would guess my first question would be, if I was to say that I am intolerant of people who are intolerant, am I inciting violence like that?
No.
What is the difference?
Oh, so what you do is that you make flagrant behavior that is done to dehumanize a specific group of people. And then when you have a big, giant audience and you do that specific thing, it inevitably results in the harm of those people. Because what will happen is out of the thousands and thousands of fans you have, you end up with one that causes harm. And if you think that there have not been shooters that acted in the name of Charlie Kirk, well, you should probably do some Googling, because there absolutely have been. He's a stochastic terrorist. Or rather, he was a stochastic terrorist. Past tense.
There were shooters who were primed by Charlie Kirk. In what way? What evidence do you have of that? I'm curious.
Oh, well, his Christo-fascism.
You said Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
Not an ideology. What did he say, and where was
his arguments of Christo-fascism?
All right, First Amender. Can someone who's in the trans community listen to your arguments and decide that because people are intolerant to trans people, I should go shoot someone?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
If someone was listening to you and they said that because people are intolerant and you believe that, you know, we shouldn't tolerate intolerant people, can't someone use that same logic to go shoot someone under your own ideology?
Not at all. I openly advocate against any form of violence.
Yes, you do. But we're talking about how crazy people interpret things, correct?
I agree. That's why I think it's really important for me to emphasize very heavily that we emphasize nonviolence on this channel. We would not want any violent action. And no, just because I don't like right-wingers doesn't mean they ought be dehumanized.
All right. So what violent actions did Charlie Kirk advocate for?
Oh, well, he believes that it's destroying the country, the fact that there's trans people. For example,
I'm sorry,
or his Christo-fascist worldview, or wanting to say that he's tired that he doesn't like black people. Yeah, it's a Christo-fascist that incited violent mobs of people to then act on it. And given the fact that there were over 3 shooters that were inspired by Charlie Kirk's words specifically, that would be an example of a stochastic terrorist.
All right, first, please answer my question. What violence did he advocate?
That's how stochastic terrorism works. You don't have to openly advocate for violence. You can just argue a flagrant speech that demonizes a group of people, which is what Charlie Kirk did his entire life.
Okay. First of all, and again, this is, of course, it's not a defense of Nazis and people who are fascists and things of that nature. But if you on your platform say that Nazis are horrible people, we need to get rid of all of them, things of that nature, isn't that the same as what he was doing?
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
Okay, on your own platform, if you start ranting at someone who's racist, like let's say the last guy, and you tell someone they're a piece of trash or a piece of garbage, and no one cares about your opinion, Can't someone take that to the next logical step where they want to commit violence against that person?
No, because I advocate very heavily nonviolence.
Okay, so back to my initial question. What did Charlie Kirk say that was violent because he advocated for nonviolence too?
Well, but then he would like demonize people that weren't effectively white Christian cis white males, and that there were people that have been radicalized by his speech. And one of the largest groups of people that commit violent atrocities in the United States are, in fact, right-wingers, not left-wingers.
Okay, and don't you advocate against people who listen to Andrew Wilson? Don't you put most of those people into a certain category?
Yeah.
And you do say that they are detrimental to society, correct?
I think they're mistaken. I don't know about if I would call them detrimental to society. They make life worse for people.
Before, sir.
They make life worse for people.
Okay, well, again, by your own caveat, these people are making life worse for other people. Yeah. We need to do something about it.
No, I didn't say we need. No. That's the difference. I don't ever say that. I never said, hey, go and do something to right-wingers. Never, ever did I ever say that. I have open discussion with right-wingers where we can have discussions on my tiny little channel, right? And I believe in the open discourse and dialogue. I just think that there's a lot more popularity towards just right-wing hate mobs wanting to hate on the liberals or the woke people, and it has incensed increased levels of violence as a result. This is why I refer to it as stochastic terrorism. It is stochastic terrorism. These people act on the basis of right-wing extremist values. A majority of shooters are right-wing. That is the case. That's the facts.
Fair enough, first. But what I'm asking you is, by your own ideology, can you just put that same thing on the left?
Okay.
Even
if there is a stochastic terrorist on the left, I can imagine that, sure.
Because what I'm saying to you
I don't believe that I'm a stochastic terrorist. Not at all. Not even close. Number one, my audience is way too small. Even if I assume the most flagrant use of speech, it still wouldn't count because, well, number one, I'm not, I don't have a big enough audience to be labeled. Because in order for it to work, a stochastic terrorist needs thousands of people to listen that then causes one person to act.
Well, the only problem I'd have with that is that now that we live in this age where you could have 100 followers, but if you go viral for one thing, thousands upon thousands of people.
Yeah, well then you could argue a level of stochastic terrorism. That's number one. Number two, I say very, very openly that we should never use violence ever, under any circumstance.
So did Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, but then he was just like, hey, what? Let me pull up some stuff that Charlie Kirk has said.
All right, wait. Before you do that, I have two questions for you. And this is going by your own tenets that you normally talk to people. Normally during the week, how many times do you come across someone who's talking about trans issues who has no idea what they're talking about?
Hold on. Let's see here.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. When's the timer set to? I don't even think I set the time. I did not. Let me look. Hold on, Awol. Mm-hmm. 123.
Go ahead.
I don't know. 53 minus 32. Okay, so 23 minutes. All right, sorry about that.
All right, well, let me ask you a question.
How about this, right? So, take for example, Kirk himself had said, if you stop being a man, then maybe you should stop being a human being when referring to trans people. Do you see how, like, what you're doing there is that people who don't fit gender norms, they're effectively less than human?
I could see that, except for, again, I'm pretty certain you're taking out of context.
Oh, my God.
But I had a question for you before you... No, let me finish. I had a question for you before you pulled this up.
He lived his entire life doing this. Like, this isn't hard to find, just so you're aware. Like, you can find the openly... I don't understand what is with the whitewashing of Charlie Kirk as if he was like this perfect human being that was such a good guy who only just wanted to argue ideas. Well, yeah, but except that his entire like position was just like open stochastic terrorism. Right? What about the fact he would sit there and tell people...
Ask my question.
You jumped questions, right? I'm pointing out that Charlie Kirk was a stochastic terrorist. By the very definition of a stochastic terrorism, he's a stochastic terrorist. I'm tired of pretending as if this guy was a good guy. He wasn't. He never was a good guy. He spent his entire life being super hateful to a ton of people. Now, does that mean that he deserved to die? No, not at all. I don't believe that.
You're full of shit, and that's just your emotions.
I'm not full of shit. I'm pointing out.
You're wrong, though. I'm sorry, you're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong.
But
no.
Let me ask my question.
Let me read to you stochastic terrorism one more time.
No, don't. You don't need to read it again. Let me ask my question.
Why do you think? So then, prove me wrong. Show me that he's not. How is he not? I point out that he's a stochastic terrorist, right? Because he is using mass media as an influential figure, and he did what? He demonized a person or a group, which ultimately incites a statistically probable but unpredictable act of violence from a member of his group, right? Which that has happened under Charlie Kirk, right? Now with that being said, right, the call to violence is implicit and it's ambiguous, right? So what that allows is for there to be plausible deniability, avoiding direct legal responsibility under the First Amendment protections. Everything of what I said fills Charlie Kirk's behavior entirely.
All right, are you finished?
Well, I just prove me wrong. Show me that's not the case.
Well, I'm trying to prove you wrong, but this is the same thing you've been saying for 4 days, so let me just give you my counterpoint.
All right.
The other day, you were talking about the George Floyd situation.
Yeah.
And at one point, you were talking about, I think it was the autopsy report, but you were talking about that it was like a 3-hour report, something along those lines.
I'm sorry, repeat that? What?
When you were talking about George Floyd, you were talking about a report that was about 3 hours in length. Do you remember that?
It wasn't a report. It was that you're talking about the expert testimony of the pulmonologist.
Okay, cool beans. Did you watch that?
Yes.
All the way through?
Yes, I watched the entire trial all the way through. So not only did I get the pulmonologist, I got several police officers that were there, all of the video footage, pretty much all of the evidence that was available to the jury, I also was able to observe.
Okay. So I would give you the benefit of the doubt that when you spoke about George Floyd in that situation, you had done your due diligence, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you truly tell me that you've watched at least an hour straight of Charlie Kirk's debate?
No, I don't watch Charlie Kirk.
Okay, before you go any further, don't you always advise people who are ignorant about trans issues that they need to pick up a book and they need to actually watch these things so they can learn something? Every one of the points of view that you're expressing are from clips and things that are taken out of context. And I truly do believe if you took the time, because you've told me already that you read people you don't like, you've read books about Trump.
So let me ask you this. If I sat down and watched Charlie Kirk, right,
yes,
and his speeches, yes, whatever,
or debate,
then you think then you would find my arguments more valid?
Maybe. The thing is that
wait, so that doesn't matter. What do you mean maybe?
No, I'll tell you exactly why.
Well, dude, as soon as we get off, we'll start watching it right freaking now, dude.
Well, you won't do that because you were talking about being demonetized if we watched actual clips, right?
That's probably true. I'd probably get like, they'd be like, oh, Turning Point USA. But yeah, sure, I'll watch it. You want me to watch it? I'll watch it.
Okay, this is
I guarantee you, it's going to be the same crap that I'm already aware of. But okay.
again, I'm challenging you because what I'm saying is I don't think that you'll ever agree or like Charlie Kirk.
No,
but
definitely not.
Okay, I got you. But if you think that he was the type of person who wanted to erase a whole race of people, I think you have a very bad.
Oh, honestly, I honestly believe that he wanted to get his bag. That's what I believe. I believe he knew a way that he was going to make money, and that's exactly what he did. Right,
well,
I think it also caused innumerable level of harm on tons of people.
Okay, fair enough. But at least think about my challenge, because what I'm saying to you is, and how about this? Why don't you watch him when he's debating trans people or gay people and see how he reacts and how he talks to them? Because the picture you're painting of him, it's possible to disagree with someone without hating them. You do agree with that, right?
Let's see here.
So what I'm saying to you is that, all right, here's a better way.
Charlie Kirk talks to trans person.
And you'll find hundreds of those on TikTok, by the way. And also, you'll find that he has a lot of trans supporters and gay supporters.
Hi.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna just watch it together.
Cool beans.
Is there a way to speed this up? Hold on. I'm gonna try to avoid the, getting like demonetized. So we're gonna, I don't know, 1.5 playback speed maybe.
I don't really have a specific question.
Sounds good.
What is something that you like to debate about?
Anything? What's on your mind? I want to make it more fair for you. I'm not here to pick debates. I'm here to try to teach. So, what do you tend to be more conservative or liberal?
More liberal.
Okay. Tell me how you got to that way, and tell me. It's not a trick. I'm not here to debate college kids. I'm here to try to teach. If someone debates me, I'll debate back. But
I mean, it's kind of just what aligns with my morals. I'm myself. I'm a queer person, and I know that.
Hold on. Just out of. Bro, this is at 1.5 speed, and they're talking slow. Son of a bitch. Let me guys. Hold on. I'm gonna grab something to drink. Just give me a sec.
All right, take your time.
All right, hold on. Just grabbing some soda water. I drink a lot of soda water. Did you know that?
You look like the type.
I make my own. Fuck you. I made my own machine. It's cool. My own machine. Bro, I made my own
you look
machine.
like the type.
That's cool.
It is pretty cool. You look like the type of spends.
I didn't use a soda stream. I made my own freaking machine. I can show it to you. I know how it works because I made it.
Is it soy flavor?
It's got Mio, or rather an off-brand of Mio, because Mio's too expensive. Anyway. All right.
Of a lot of stuff that you wouldn't agree with me
Is there
on.
an extra testosterone brand?
I don't know. You could probably put testosterone in it.
You might try that, sir.
Why? What if I want to transition? What's wrong with you?
Well, actually, I'm curious. First, are you ever going to actually do it, or are you waiting for like the political situation?
It needs to tone way the hell down. Like I'm astonished. There are actual people like transitioning in today's climate. Like I'm amazed. It's like so brave. Anyway, sorry.
I think it's important to actually debate the topics and not just
I actually agree with you.
I totally agree.
Can
I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
When I grew up, calling someone queer was like a slur. Can you tell me what that means?
Well,
I mean that sincerely. And how is it different than just saying you're lesbian?
Like, you tell people to do their due diligence, and what I'm saying to you is that for people that you don't agree with, you tend to not do that. Let's say the Andrew Wilson crowd or the Charlie Kirk crowd. And whether or not you truly wind up agreeing with him or not, I think you would get a different point of view if you watch him talk to these different people. Because when you say someone hates gay people,
yeah,
and then they invite said gay person underneath their political party and says, hey, come join us, that's not hatred. There are people who are saying that he's racist, but like he did the Black Leaders Summit.
Yeah, but the problem is that it's like all the things that he has said, right? That's the part where the hatred comes in. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch this.
Or bisexual or gay.
So it can be different for everyone because gender, sexuality, it's a spectrum just like anything else. And for me personally, I like everyone.
No, but what does queer mean though?
Queer, it's just a label.
What does the label mean?
It's different for everyone.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know, but that doesn't.
I hear people going, "Oh my God."
No, I just want I want a definition. I mean, I'm not trying to put you as a trap, though. I mean this because when I grew up, if I called somebody queer, I'd get in trouble. Just give me like a working definition.
Yeah. So queer is just something that you identify as with your sexuality. It can be related to gender too.
Right, but how do you know once you achieve queer? Like, what is the like? Can you give me?
Can I just first start off by saying like this is a terrible this is already just terrible. Like the.
Now remember, I can't see it, so.
Yeah.
I can only
Sorry,
hear.
they're talking about like them being queer, and it's like, I mean, they could have just said like very easily, like it just differs from dominant social norms. Like that would have been enough. Like that's queer. It doesn't meet into traditional categories like gay or lesbian. That's what queer is. But
Who said queer?
Yeah. They said they called themselves queer. Anyway,
saying
I was
that
kind of hoping to get a
doesn't tell me
trans
what that's saying. Does that make sense though? Like it'd be like saying you become an adult when you feel like you're an adult. I mean, you have to say that there is an objective.
I'm glad that everyone's having so much fun.
Well, they're
with
laughing
this.
because I'm trying to glean like what it means.
Yeah.
Because when
this is okay. So like this is kind of like where I get a problem, where it's like he's talking immediately saying like something like this is objective when you're talking about like social standards. There wouldn't be an objective regarding like social standards in a person being queer. That's a social construct right there. Like you're just talking about like a difference in like the binary position versus like a non-binary position such as queer. And it's like saying that there's like going to be the that doesn't even make any sense. And that's like Charlie Kirk is just wrong there. Like it's just like, I don't know, pick up like a sociology book. Like it's just not there. Like what he's saying. Anyway.
Someone says queer, that doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, so that's what a debate is for.
Debate back.
Thank you. So
debate back? Okay.
It's literally just an identity.
I haven't heard anything yet. But,
that's fair. You can't hear it. You got to be on the Discord. Are you on my Discord?
oh, for fuck's sake, man, what are we doing? No, man, I'm in the car. What are we doing here?
Well, you can be on the Discord, just FYI. Anyway, no. So I'm playing the video. You can't hear it because I'm playing the video. Maybe it's best that we don't watch this right now. How about that? Right?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Well, let me ask you this: was he rude to said person? Was he aggressive towards them, or did he listen to them?
Not yet. I would have to watch the whole thing to see where he's being rude or aggressive. But he has a lot of clips where he's very rude, very aggressive.
Exercise. You need to start watching the whole thing every once in a blue moon. And
okay.
Also, just another sidebar: if you really want to become a better debater, you should be listening to your opposition, because that way you would actually know their real talking points. A lot of times when people call you and you go into your little zones and you start accusing them of things, you're not actually listening to the people. And you need to actually be able to have a thick enough skin, I would say. But you don't actually go out and, let's say, listen to Andrew Wilson debate someone on your side if you didn't have to. And what I'm saying is you need to watch the people who you dislike just so you can debate them better too. That's a good point, right?
All right, here we go. So, I mean, this is just like one of many things that Charlie Kirk, and this is like from factcheck.org, where there was the Jewish money quote. The viral graphic alleges that Kirk, who is a strong supporter of Israel, but has been accused of anti-Semitism numerous times during his career, blamed Jewish money for ruining American culture. We did not immediately find instances of Kirk using a specific phrase, Jewish money, but he has repeatedly made similar remarks regarding the funding of liberal causes or institutions. Weeks after the October 7th attack on Israel in 2023, Kirk argued in an October 26th episode of his podcast that Jews had funded anti-Semitism in the U.S. by supporting liberal causes. Jewish donors have a lot of explaining to do, a lot of decoupling to do, he said, because Jewish donors have been the number one funding mechanism of radical, open border, neoliberal, quasi-Marxist policies, culture institutions, and nonprofits. This is a beast created by secular Jews, and now it's coming for Jews, and they're like, what on earth happened? And it's not just colleges, it's the nonprofits, it's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it. About 2 weeks later, Kirk again made a similar argument. Jews have been some of the largest funders of cultural Marxist ideas and supporters of those ideas over the last 30 to 40 years. Stop supporting causes that hate you, he said on his podcast. Unless you cleanse that ideology from the hierarchy of the academic elite of the West, there will not be a safe future. I'm not going to say Israel won't exist, but Israel will be in jeopardy as long as the Western children of the West, being taught with primarily Jewish dollars subsidizing it and viewing everything through a oppressor-oppressed dynamic. Unless you shed that ideology, you will not be able to build a case for Israel because the view on Israel as an oppressor. In another podcast, 10 days after, Kirk returned to the topic when defending Elon Musk from complaints of anti-Semitism, agreeing with part controversial ex-post that Musk had called, quote, the actual truth. Kirk also said that he agreed with the conservative commenter Tucker Carlson that Jewish Americans have primarily been financing cultural Marxist ideas. Some of the largest financiers of the left-wing anti-white causes have been Jewish Americans, Kirk said. In the same episode, Kirk rejected complaints that he was anti-Semitic, saying that in earlier episodes that he was glad that Jewish Americans are reconsidering their financing of cultural Marxism, and people misunderstood the intentionally and slandered us into being anti-Semites. Cultural Marxism is being considered by some, including the Southern Poverty Law Center, as an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. At its most extreme, it refers to the idea that a small group of Jewish immigrants in the U.S. worked to subvert Christian culture in America and spread progressive values. The phrase is sometimes a colloquial analogy for political correctness and is often used without anti-Semitic intention to describe liberals, progressive movements, and others. The Anti-Semitism Policy Trust, the UK nonprofit, explained in a 2020 briefing, however, in reality, it is a shadowy term openly used by anti-Semites, neo-Nazis, and others with nefarious intentions. The group strongly recommends that people avoid using the phrase. So, multiple instances where he brings up the Jewish money conspiracy theory. And you don't consider that to be a stochastic terrorist?
No.
I don't know what else to tell you, man. We just have to agree to disagree.
I don't. Well, I already knew I already knew it was going to come to that anyway. My only point of calling you was that I'm challenging you to actually do your due diligence. I'm saying that I would like you to watch a couple of his debates where he's talking about trans issues, gay
just
issues,
for you, I
black
will.
issues. Thank you, and then we can reiterate. We can come back to this again and whatnot because, again, I don't think that you're going to agree with him, but I also think that there's a lot of media shame. Would you agree that the Republicans will deliberately cast Democrats in a negative light when they're writing an article?
The what?
A Republican-based paper, news articles, whatever, won't they shade things a certain way when they're writing something about Democrats?
Yes.
Okay, well then you have to acknowledge that the Democrat side will do that too.
Is
so not everything you read
factcheck.org now Democratic?
Well, okay, you did factcheck.org, right? Didn't they say allegedly and accused? That was part of the fact check, right? Allegedly and accused.
Well, all of those things that I told you that he said, he did say those things.
Okay, but before that, they
is
said
that out of
allegedly.
what's the context required to talk about this quote unquote Jewish money that is subverting white Christian values in the United States? And how is that not stochastic terrorism towards Jewish people?
Two things. Number one, like most people, there's no single person I believe is 100% correct on this planet anyway, right? So you could like someone and not agree with every part of their ideology regardless. The Jewish thing, not even going to touch it. Most of my problems that I have with what I'm hearing about Charlie Kirk is the whole racism, that he hates black people, that he hates Spanish people.
Well, mine is the fact he's a stochastic terrorist and nobody wants to call him that. They're worried about calling him that. Right? Even though it's the truth.
Well, they should be. No, here's the
why
problem.
should you be afraid to say that?
Because you could get shot in the neck. That's why.
Okay, so I'm going to get shot in the neck. Therefore, we shouldn't talk about these things. So much for the right being freedom of speech. I love it.
That's what we're talking about right now. The man got shot because he was saying opinions that people didn't like.
Listen,
correct?
I don't believe he deserved to get shot, but to pretend as if that he was this great man. No, dude. He was a stochastic terrorist. He pushed his hate ideology up until the day he died. He's been doing that his entire life.
Right now, we are living in a world where someone will call you a Nazi if you don't like the color of somebody's hair. Okay,
bro, you say the word Nazi, and every single like almost everybody is like, okay, I'm turned off. You're a Democrat. You call everybody a Nazi, even though they're doing clearly Nazi stuff. Like it's the most ineffectual thing ever. It's the most nobody cares about that anymore. If anything, your side is the one that's winning in this, right? Because I mean, I feel like there's just more people that are just right wing extremist hateful people than Democrats. I mean, that's just the reality.
Well, I think one of the problems with your point of view is that you put people. All right, when you compared Andrew Tate to Andrew Wilson, those two people are so far apart from each other in their ideologies and how they talk to people and what they think.
Yeah.
Even if they're both in the same side, and even if they're both in the same party, comparing the two of them is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you don't listen to Destiny yourself.
No.
Right?
So yeah, I do know that Andrew Tate and Charlie Kirk is a Christo-fascist, where he uses his Christianity to push, whereas like Andrew Tate is like manosphere, and let's be honest, like most of his fans are like 16-year-olds, like a bunch of little kids that are just like edgy, and they like the fact that he's rich and has a lot of women. Like I understand the difference between these two people.
Well, yeah, but then if you make comparisons that they're on this side, so they're both
it's a side of the extreme right that ultimately is making life worse for everybody. You got 1 minute. I'm gonna let you have the last word.
Cool beans. Then all I'm saying is that I think that you should open your mind a little bit to actually listening to more of the people who are calling in and actually letting them finish their point. You talked to that young boy again today. I forget what his name is, and you also got on him about the Andrew Wilson thing.
Relion?
And if I recall, yes.
Yeah.
He's the one who you had the little tip with the Matt Walsh thing too, also, right?
I'm sorry.
Didn't he bring up Matt Walsh? Isn't he the one who brought up Matt Walsh and you started to mute him and things went down a hill?
Well, I told him Andrew Wilson, and he didn't even deny that he watched Andrew Wilson. I know where he's getting his arguments from.
I'm not going to deny it.
Andrew Wilson sucks, man. Why are you watching Andrew Wilson? That shit's poison.
Because he's a wonderful debater, and again, I don't agree with everything.
Brother,
he says, but the man's life is
brother,
that doesn't
what's
matter.
that?
But I would say one more thing.
What's that, brother?
Come on, man. I'm supposed to be wrapping it up, so let me wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
I would say that you were saying that because he's young and he's been pulled in by this ideology of listening to Andrew Wilson, that he needs to expand and, look at other things and read books. I would say that your moderator, Bobro, there, is almost the same way because he's young with no life experience, but he follows all these things that you say.
Yeah.
Should I tell him that he should go out and read some more books and maybe get a better perspective? Or is it okay because
there's nothing. It's not going to hurt you by getting more perspective and reading more books. It's great.
Cool beans, and we agree. So you should read some more about Charlie Kirk.
Well, is there any books on Charlie Kirk? I'd read that.
Well, I'm pretty certain there's a lot of them. But no, honestly, I think you should just maybe look up a couple of debates and see if it changes some of your views.
Will do.
All right, Chris.
Yep.
Enjoy your night, man.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Later.
All right. Phones are open. Call in 202-998-5218. You got 30 minutes. You can call in. Hey! You're on the line with First Amender.
Your father's left.
Hello?
Your father's left.
Who's hello?
You have a cat?
Yeah.
Cool.
Is this Druid? Bye, Druid. I'll write that down. Druid. And then 157.59. Do you have a cat? All right. Phones are open. 202-998-5218. Call in. Call in. Call in. The Briscoe says, you're just mad. Andrew Wilson kicked your ass in a debate a minute. I don't understand how Andrew Wilson kicked my ass. I think that there's just like a lot of people that like to hear what Andrew say, and they did not like to hear what I had to say. And so therefore Andrew Wilson won the debate on the basis of what he is saying versus what I'm saying. I mean, he's certainly winning the popularity contest. That's for sure. Though the problem that I'm having with that argument is that he didn't understand my argument and he required to put it into a syllogism. And then I provided him the syllogism. And so then he took the syllogism and replaced man and woman with cat and dog and was like, look how silly your argument is. Your argument is valid, but it is not sound. And the problem is that he hyperbolized it, right? It was like a false equivalency into a straw man argument for him to address my position. And like, I mean, I've watched it multiple times. Like factually, I did not lose that debate. I believe that. Because no matter how many times I watched it, it just came down to that. And then, but just because like more people agreed with Andrew Wilson didn't make him correct, nor did it make his argument work functionally. Like functionally, his entire argument was he just switched man and woman to cat and dog as if we're referring to the same taxonomic classification. It's just wrong. No matter how I look at it, it's just wild. So we are taking calls 202-998-5218. I have to make it across this river. Ooh, what's over here? I'm going to go check that out. Call in. Whoever wants to call in. If not, no big deal. We're going to be playing some Stalker 2. Yo, are you guys seeing how pretty this game is? Ooh, phone call. You're on the line with First Amender.
So what do you think about this whole thing about the right putting everyone who says jokes, quotes?
Well, sorry, I didn't catch your name. What was your name?
Oh, my name is Sam.
Sam. All right, Sam. What did you want to talk about?
So what do you think about all these people on the right putting people who just make jokes about Charlie Kirk or just quoting him on a list to get them fired from jobs?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember like actually that's JD Vance had said that, like, call their jobs, and I'm like, wait, did did the vice president just argue, hey, you should go out and dox people that disagree with you? Like,
yeah.
Like, this is a wild time to be living in.
And then what was it yesterday on the memorial for Charlie Kirk? His wife came up there and said they don't want this hate, the political hate, whatnot, and that she forgives the killer. And then Trump comes on after her and says, I'm completely opposite of his wife. I do not forgive them. I hate them. And they need punishment. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like one of those things where it's like it just kind of shows the hypocrisy on the right. And like, no matter how I square it away, like, I'm curious. Did you who did you vote for prior?
I have Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris? Okay. Because, like, I'm actually kind of curious, like, how many Trump supporters are, like, supporting him now? Like, it's got to be less, right? Like, how many people actually like what's happening?
I know my friend, she voted for Trump the first 3 times, or first 2 times. And now she's like, I do not support anything he says now, because everything he has done has just been crazy.
Yeah.
In what they're doing.
Hold on. Which, oh crap. Which just got me. He said, Amender's full name and address was just exposed. Last name is Myaz. First name is Dixon. That's pretty funny, which.
So yeah, I just want to know what your thoughts on
Time
that.
to find me, Dixon Myaz.
And what do you think is going to happen because you're saying all this stuff?
Okay, what is going to happen in the future? Well, I mean, I already acknowledged that they would have taken him to becoming a martyr, and there's likely going to be increased politicization against the left, and and both of those things have already happened. I can only hope that things can get better. Albeit I don't have a lot of hope that that's what's going to happen. If anything, things are going to get worse. And I mean, you know, thankfully I'm like small enough to where I don't think anybody's paying attention to me. However, if I were a guy like, I don't know, David Pacman, I'd be like, bro, sign up for my Patreon. Holy crap. I could be in jail soon, which is really sad to even think about as like even a possibility. Cause it's like, you know, a person like as peace loving as a guy like David Pacman, you know, it would not surprise me if, you know, you started to see more and more YouTubers and people who are on the left get tackled. I mean, you could just see what's already happened with like, you know, primetime TV stations as well with Jimmy Kimmel, I believe. So I think next step, you're going to start to see YouTubers getting attacked. Popular YouTubers. Yeah.
Says the YouTuber.
Says the YouTuber. Yes. I mean, thankfully, I think I'm small enough to where I don't think they're going to pay me any attention. I mean, I guess it's possible that a right-winger goes out of their way to try to dox me. I mean, that's already happened. My job has been threatened before. It's awful when that does happen because all you have to do is just say a thing. And then, like, there's a non-zero chance that the company that you're working for just goes, well, we don't feel like investigating. We're just going to fire you, you know, because this is just bad PR. Thankfully, my job actually went out of their way to investigate allegations against me and found that I was an upstanding citizen. Sadly, I had to give them access to my entire Discord.
Oof.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, by the way, you're going to find that like I'm a weird, cringe furry, but that's about it. They were like, okay, let us investigate. And then they like got access to I gave them access to my Discord based like on a legal affidavit. And then they're like, yes, confirmed. You are a weird furry.
That's what they were looking for. That's all they were looking for. So yeah, I'll let you back to some of the Republicans that want to talk to you. Just want to let you know FedEx loves you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. FedEx loves me? Wait. All right. We are taking calls. 202-998-5218. If we get no calls, no problem. I'm just going to keep playing some Stalker 2. Stalker 2 is fun, man. This is a fun game. I'm really enjoying it. Maybe I should also play some Oblivion. I had just recently started playing League of Legends, and let me just tell you this right now. I'm just going to tell you this right now, okay? For everybody who's listening to me, I am not good at League by any stretch of the imagination, okay? I am not good. In fact, I would venture to say that I am terrible at League, and League makes me very angry. I've only just recently been getting back into League because of my friend. And I'm debating as to whether or not I should even try to play League while debating. I mean, my problem is that I don't know how to. I don't think I'd be able to multitask it, to be fair. My brain is just not built for that. I mean, I could, with a single player game where it's like there's not a lot of talking or whatever, it's pretty easy actually, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, I'll have to play around with that. Okay. Raymond Allison says Antifa are disgusting so-called people. Yes, as opposed to the anti-Antifa, which are fascists. Have you ever thought that you might be on the wrong side of history if you're anti-Antifa? That's a double negative, just so you're aware, right? Like, anti-Antifa just means you're the pho. All right. BK says, let's see. BK says, I commented on one of your old vids about that retro game you were playing. Is it on PC? Which one? Let's see here. Joachim says he banned me. Unbanned me on Discord. SJW woke leftists so I can debate admin as well again. You could call the number 202-998-5218. This Discord, discord.gg/first amender, FIRST amender. That's where I hang out. Okay. I don't want a bunch of racists on my Discord where I like to hang out. Okay. It's just, trust me, just if you're a racist, just call the number. Okay. And we'll discuss and have the open discussion, but on my Discord, I don't want racists. No racists on my Discord. Let's see here. Ramonis Allison says leftists should all be moved to Africa. Jesus, dude, like, tone down the rhetoric. What is wrong with you? Like, geez. Joachim says, I'm Swedish and I'm on. Yes. Yes. Well, because you're a racist. I don't like racists on my Discord. No racists on my Discord. You're not welcome on my Discord. You can call in though. 202-998-5218. Let's see here. The Briscoe says, yeah, the group that uses Nazi tactics that claim that they are anti-fascist. Well, they are anti-fascist. I mean, with that being said, am I in favor of the violent protests that Antifa does? No, I'm not. I'm not in favor of any violent protest. I'm just saying, like, if you're anti-Antifa, you're just the pho. just definitionally. I don't know what to tell you. Which says, and I think I'll be able to rent us out the YMCA. What? Joachim says, where am I racist? Well, the part where you pointed out some racist stuff about immigrants. BK says, Legend of Dragoon. Yeah. Oh, Legend of Dragoon. Fabulous game. Honestly, I should probably like pick up another game that's like really, really good that I swear no one takes it seriously is what's it called? It's Brave Fencer Musashi. Oh my God, it's such a good game. God, it's so good. What a good game. Let's see here. If you've ever heard of Brave Fencer Musashi, it's this like old PlayStation 1 game that it was done specifically to try to combat with Legend of Zelda. Obviously, it did not in any means combat with Legend of Zelda. Now, is it a perfect game? No. Not by a long shot. Is it a fun game? Yes, it's an adventure. It's a bop. You're going to love it, right? It's just got some weird pacing issues. And it has a couple of parts which are super not cool. It's got a part that's called Steamwood. That's just horrendous. It's one of the worst things ever. But here, I'll show you what it looks like, I guess. Brave Fencer Musashi. This is the game. Brave Fencer Musashi. And it's got like this kind of a top-down kind of a game. It's pretty fun. It's a fun game. It's good. It's good. It's got temples. There's like cool stuff. It's fun. It's a good time. Right? It's also really expensive on eBay. Let me pull it up. What's it cost on eBay? Let's ebay.com. All right. Brave Fencer Musashi PS1 Sib complete in box. All right. Okay. Not as bad as I thought it would be. Let's see here. Let's see. $100 or best offer. $135. $100. I'd pay $100. Oh, it's no manual. Here you go. Pristine mint. Oh, freaking. That's about right. No manual. See, I want the whole thing. I want the complete in box. You know, I'm kind of worried that this is going to show my address somewhere. So just give me a sec. Let me vet that Mike, it's not signing into my account. I think we're good. Yeah, there's a reason why this one's $100. Look how janky it looks. Oof. Yeah, that disc ain't looking so hot. You see that scratch right there? Yeah, I ain't buying that. No way. No way. Too bad quality. No, if I ever buy Brave Fencer Musashi, I'm going to make sure that game is in really good condition. What's another game that's like really cool for the PlayStation 1? Heart of Darkness. Have you ever heard of Heart of Darkness? This is where I just like reminisce about old games that nobody cares about anymore. Heart of Dark. I should play this. This would be good. Dude, imagine, right? There I am with like a 5090. And I'm like, hey, everybody, let's play old PlayStation 1 games. Why is it so expensive? Because there's a bunch of old guys like me that have good enough paying jobs where they're just like, I want to relive my childhood, and there's not enough of these around, right? And so it ends up being expensive. Honestly, $75, not bad for Heart of Darkness. That's not bad. I'd probably pay $75 for Heart of Darkness. That's a good game. That's a good game right there. We are taking calls, 202-998-5218. Call in. I am taking it in. Let's see here. Demand and supply is the reason why it's expensive. Yes, correct. But Heart of Darkness, honestly, that game looks so good, man. It looks so good. Dude, today, man, Heart of Darkness, dude, of Darkness, gameplay, no commentary. I'm just going to show you a little bit. Just a little bit. Upscaled using AI? I don't want that. You need to show it as is. Let's see. Hold on. I'll share it in just a second. So the game is basically like, you kind of have to like control this little kid around. This looks terrible, by the way. Holy crap. Why is that widescreen? Why is it widescreen? That needs to be 4:3. Hold on. Let me find it. I'm going to find it. Hold on. Just give me a sec. Is that 4:3? Why would you have this game, a game that is like, oh my God, yet another one that's 16:9? Why is it set that way? Bro, I'm triggered. You can't have that. Hold on. Hey, we did it. Okay, here we go. All right. So here's Heart of Darkness. Like just some gameplay. Basically, it's like a kind of like a puzzle platformy kind of, thing. Anyway, let's take a look here. So you get to see, you're like this kid, and it's really easy to die, by the way. Very, very easy. Let me turn it way down. And, you know, you're going through these screens and just trying to, you know, and there's monsters and stuff that'll just eat you alive. It's crazy. But, I mean, it's a really cool game. I mean, look at it. Doesn't it look cool? Phone numbers are open, 202-998-5218. By the way, if you don't feel like calling, feel free to join the Discord. But again, if you plan on being a racist in the Discord, I'm not doing it. See how cool this is? See how cool? It's pretty cool. I'm not going to get copyright content ID'd for playing, but for showing this, am I? You showed Heart of Darkness gameplay without you playing it. BK says the animation is smoother than I... Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. The animation is so smooth. Also, it's got, like, cinematics and stuff. Anyway. I'm going to get back to playing Stalker 2. Enjoying my 5090. And, man, it's wild how far gaming has come. Can we just, like, say that? By the way, if you do want to debate, just call the number 202-998-5218. Joachim says, I'll handle the racist Discord. I am not. But you kind of did argue like a lot of racist stuff, so that's why I removed you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't want. There's lots of Discords with racists in it. You can go there. I ain't doing it. Bubblegut says, what if your internal schema is that of a helicopter? I'm not aware of any way that your endocrinology can become an Apache attack helicopter. So I don't know where you're getting that from. There's an area. We got to go here. There's like a, quest that I'm doing there. But we got to get past this. But honestly, I kind of want to explore this area. As long as I take off my anomalies, that thing should not follow me. But if I have anomalies on, then that thing will beeline over to me. So see how it's not going straight to me? If I put on an anomaly, that thing's going to chase me. So I think I should be able to just kind of dig in here and look around. Ooh, free stuff. As long as I keep those anomalies off me and in my backpack, I should be good to go. Nice and easy. I love how this game will it adjusts the camera. I don't know if you noticed that. Like here, so like you're in the darkness, right? And you look outside, it looks super bright, right? And then you step out and it's like, oh, bright, bright, bright. Ooh. And then it goes back to normal. And you're like, it's like your eyes are adjusting. That's super cool. I think that's awesome. The reflections are also super realistic as well. I mean, if you notice the reflection on my gun here, the scope, you can see, for example, there's a building here. There's that barrel. We're going to move. Anyway, there's a barrel here. There's a building there. And so if you notice the reflection, it actually reflects, very accurately. I mean, how about that? That's pretty cool. Taking calls 202-998-5218. Bobro says, how much longer are you streaming for? Just curious. I don't know. A little bit longer, maybe 3 hours. If nobody calls, and probably sooner rather than later. But, otherwise, just hanging out, having a vibe. There's some people in the Discord, which is kind of cool. By the way, if you guys want to talk from the Discord, feel free to raise your hand. Just don't be overly racist. That's my only concern. Though I don't see anybody here going to be racist. But if you want to raise your hand and you're in the Discord audience, feel free. We can have the conversation if you want. Let's see here. See, I'm trying to collect stuff. There's got to be good stuff around in here. Anything? Awol says, Bobro, that answer actually surprised me because you seem like you're only in an echo chamber and you say I'm biased, but I probably like to talk more people varying races and genders than you do in life. Joachim says, First Amender, do you always cave to a non-racist argument? Cave? Like, are you saying, like, do I get convinced by non-racist argument? Yes. Yeah, I would get more convinced if somebody didn't predicate their argument on racism. Bubblegut says, we engage in classism on Discord. No, I just don't like racist. It's where I hang out, dude. I hang out there, man. Don't dirty up my place by being racist, man. I'm not going to like it. I don't appreciate it. You're going to dirty up my Discord. I ain't doing that. Nope. Not my Discord. Go elsewhere. There's lots of Discords that are super racist. Go be racist. It's okay. You can go be racist, just not in my Discord. I kind of want to check out that tower over there and see if there's anything in there. Joachim says, do you think it is predicated on racism? Yes, your argument was in fact predicated on racism. Awol says, or maybe instead of racism, people have a pattern recognition. They realize that you judge people by the people you actually know. Well, yeah, people judge people based on generalized characteristics. And what we want to do is push away from like tribalistic notions and kind of establish higher levels of thinking, right? As in try to avoid your internal racist thoughts, right? You just try to establish higher level thinking there and go, not everybody of that race is bad. Or not, maybe I shouldn't be so shitty towards people that are things that they cannot control. Awol says, is there a white people I don't like? Is there a white people I don't like? And there are white people I do like because there is a part of them that I don't like that does make me a racist or selective. Makes you selective, I guess. I mean, there's white people I don't like. Like, what do you mean? I don't like racist white people. Taking calls. 202-998-5218. If you want to debate me, I'm right here. Bubblegut says, do you think black people were racist towards whites during slavery? If so, would you justify their racism or would it still be bad? Do you think black people were racist? I mean, I suppose it's possible for like, I don't know, a slave to be racist to white people, but it's kind of like resisting your oppressors. So probably not. That's a weird question. Chaos says capitalism is not the best, in my opinion. The whole U.S. is owned by 6 companies that own the left and right media, so it doesn't help that there's too much conflict of interest. I don't know if it's 6 companies, but I see what you're getting at. Eh, no, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Let me go. Damn, bro. I almost died. All right, let's save there. All right. We're taking calls. 202-998-5218. If I get no callers, then hey, no big deal. Let's see here. Bernie McKenna says, you cannot debate if you're not open. Not racist, not interested. Why debate an idiot? Are you saying you're disproving yourself by saying that statement? You can't debate if you're not open. If you're not racist, not interested, why debate an idiot? If you wait, you're going to have to retype that because that's a very confusing. Because that could be taken all sorts of ways. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you can't debate if you're not open. So, like, I'm assuming, like, the closed-off person is the racist person? Is that... Or maybe like I should be racist and that would make me more open. I don't. Texas Toast says, I'm going to take your shoe and put it on me. Okay. That's odd. I don't really understand that. We are taking calls though. 202-998-5218. Is that a zombie man? Is that a zombie man? What? Oh, those aren't zombies. This is regular people. I thought he was zombie. I was about to shoot this dude. He was like leaning up against the wall. I'm gonna fucking shoot him. All right. What do we got here? What do we have? Oh, people of the monolith. Fun. Maybe I should try a game of League. Just like debating people. I feel like it would be a terrible, terrible thing to do. You'll watch how bad I am at League. I'm not good. I've never been good at League. I wish I was good at League. I've never been good at League. Is my gun jammed? Damn it. I gotta repair my gun. Dang it. That's not good. I gotta repair the gun. Oh, 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 oh. Die. Die. How many headshots do I gotta do? Alright. Okay, yeah, we're on our way home. We'll be home soon. It's great. Awol says, come on, man. You said that you wouldn't stop someone from stealing from your home. Isn't that what every criminal wants? Someone who doesn't resist them? What? What? I don't understand. Destiny aligned, which is a joke. What? First, give Joachim another chance for being a racist. Dude, I don't want racists on my Discord. Seriously. We'll probably vibe for another 30 minutes or so, and then that'll be it for me. But we're just playing a game. But if anybody wants to call in, 202-998-5218. Heck, Awol, if you want to have another conversation, I don't mind. Texas Toast says, I taught Amender to be smart. In MDD, I ejaculated with... Jesus. What? Who is Texas Toast? Awol says, okay, if no one calls in the next 10 minutes, I'm calling. All right. I mean, let's see. Let's see here. Bernie McKenna says, closed is racist to me. New liberals are the same. Communists that must be stopped. I don't think you understand the meaning of those words that you are using. If you believe that I am a communist, you really should probably read some Marx, because you seriously have no idea what you're talking about. I do not argue for the classless, moneyless, stateless society whatsoever. I'm a capitalist with social safety nets. I like social safety nets. I think those are important. I think unions are important. Those are all things that I like. That doesn't, I'm sorry, that's not a communist. I don't think the classless, moneyless, stateless society results in beneficial outcomes. So I don't argue it. We got a anomaly here that we can collect. Ooh, give me. What do we get? Harp? Florida Cams says, you guys are absolutely deluded. Well, you can call the number 202-998-5218. What am I deluded about? Go ahead, teach me something I don't know, please. Please, I'm interested. I want to hear you out. I really do. Let's see. It says radiation is medium, weak electrical, weak bleeding. This sucks. That thing sucks. Bad. Bernie McKenna says read Marxism. Read Marxism? Well, I'm telling you what communism is. It's the stateless, moneyless, classless society. That's communism. Why? Because I read Marx. Tell you what it is. Arguing for progressive liberal values is not Marx. Those are different things. Like, I disagree with Marx. I don't agree with his positions. I think they're wrong. Like, I don't. Chaos says, for me, I lean towards democratic socialism, which is state-controlled markets and strong welfare states. Joachim says, I have the answer. Yes, his answer is the great replacement theory. Or his answer is going to be something along the lines of kick the immigrants out. It's all fixed if you just get rid of the Browns. Oh, looks like we got somebody who's in the Discord who would like to speak. We're going to invite them in. I'm going to go on Do Not Disturb mode. Gucci, you're being invited to speak.
Yo, yo.
How you doing, Gucci?
What's good, bro?
What you want to talk about?
So I think I'm going to talk about where the right goes from here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we all know that Charlie Kirk is not going to be the last, and he wasn't the first. So I think where the right goes from here, I believe it's going to be more church. I went to church last Sunday, and there wasn't a outright sermon about what happened to Charlie Kirk. However, I think what separates the right and the left is during these times, the right tends to, I don't want to say isolate, but for the sake of keeping it short, I would say isolate, but they also start to look deeper within. And I think what comes out of Charlie Kirk's murder and assassination is going to be a lot more people actually coming to the right, but not in a sense of coming to the right for brownie points from society. You know, it's going to be from, there are evil people out there, and there's evil that not only wants to see you dead, but evil that will watch you die and then try to gaslight you into thinking that I'm not against you dying, I'm just against your positions. Scripture obviously is filled with this, of people that stand up and do the right thing, and they're persecuted. So if anything, Charlie Kirk's death just made more people Christian.
You think?
So I'm curious, what does someone on the left, or as you call yourself, a woke soy boy, right?
Yep.
What are the people on the left saying is going to be the outcome?
Well, I think I think things are going to get worse. I think you're going to start seeing curtailments on the freedom of speech. I think you're going to start seeing more violence being pushed onto the left from the right, more so than there was before. And I mean, like, I think it was even before. I mean, but to be honest, I don't even think it would have mattered who would have died or how. Mostly because right before we even knew anything about the shooter, they're already blaming the left for it. And so it's like, before anything even happens, they're already trying to elicit stochastic terrorism towards the left as being the problem. But from what I can observe, I can see overwhelmingly the problem is on the right. And I can only argue on my perspective, which is I don't want there to be any violence. And I can only hope that people who want violent rhetoric on the right and the left, it should be condemned.
I agree. I'm only for justified self-defense. I'm all for mutual combat. But obviously, this is not it.
Are you are you a Christian?
I'm sorry.
Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Okay. I want to switch topics if that's okay with you.
I mean, I'm not, in all honesty, I'm not going to sit here and try to pull scripture, and try to convince you. Obviously, you have your mind made up, and I do hope that at some point in time, you open your heart to Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But I did,
and I decided that I was going to read the Bible in its entirety. And that was probably the worst decision I could have made if I wanted to keep my Christianity. I mean, it just completely obliterated any possibility of me believing that God is the influencer of that book. I was like, there's no doubt in my mind that man made this. But okay, so like,
I'll engage.
So let me ask you this, right? Are you okay with the existence of trans people, for example?
I don't know what that means.
Trans people, like their gender doesn't match with their sex. Do you acknowledge them, their existence as a person?
I think that's kind of a silly question. That's what do you really want to say, Amender? Like, don't pull me through the meta as you were calling it earlier. What do you
meta
really
means
want
that
to say?
meta means rather than talking about the substance of the discussion, you talk about the overall arching questioning, like what you're doing right now. That's meta.
I
guess I'm asking I'm asking a direct question. Like, do you believe trans people exist?
You asked me, what do I want to talk about? I brought up what do I want to talk about, and I asked, and we were getting into the topic of where do we go from here, and out of nowhere, we're getting into
I wanted to switch the topic.
Trans people exist.
Yeah, I wanted to switch the topic. So I'm asking you, do you believe trans people exist?
I don't know what that means.
Trans people where their gender is separate from their sex. Do those people exist?
Do I think people exist? Yeah. People have weird
ask if people exist. I said, do trans people exist?
Oh yeah. Yes. People exist.
No, just say trans people. Do trans people exist? I didn't ask if people exist. I said trans people.
People that are trans exist. Yes.
Okay, cool. How do you feel about the COVID vaccine?
I wasn't in agreement on them making it mandatory. I wasn't in agreement on. Well, okay. I wasn't in agreement on the optics of the whole thing. I don't think that.
Do you think that does the COVID vaccine work?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you okay with spanking?
Am I okay with spanking?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I grew up and I was spanked and I came out all right. I would prefer, because I have children. Do you have kids, Amender? Are you married? Do you have kids?
But I took care of my baby brother for several years. So I do have experience with raising kids. Right?
Huh? That's the exact same thing.
No, okay. Obviously not. I mean, but I did everything I could to take care of my baby brother. Had to go through the whole rigmarole. The dad wasn't there. I needed to be present for my baby brother Billy.
Yeah, that's awesome. You are your brother's keeper. That's another scripture that you can ponder over.
So here's the thing, right? all of the things that I've asked you are things that a lot of people like to reference scripture as to why they don't support, the things that I've mentioned. Now, my concern is, and I thought about this earlier, was what if you're wrong about God? What if God really doesn't exist? What if all there is just humans and whatever happens in the afterlife, there is no afterlife. Your neurons just simply dissipate into entropy and you cease to be able to make a cogent decision. If you're wrong about that, and your decisions regarding trans people, regarding spanking, regarding COVID, regarding all of the things that I've mentioned, you would effectively be wrong on all of those things. And so effectively what you would be is just like a terrible human being.
No. So the repercussions if you're wrong is a lot worse than if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're giving Pascal's wager, but if you spend your entire life...
Hold up. Hang on, man. Hang on. If you're wrong, it's more damning against you. So
no.
you cannot gather any sort of
I disagree, and I'll tell you why.
Quality from what I said. You asked me, do trans people exist? I asked you what that meant, and you refused to answer that question.
So among,
you asked, hang on,
so among Christians,
please, brother. You asked me if I believe in spanking, and I didn't say yes or no. I said I was spanked, but and then you moved on.
You alluded
to
that
the
you're
next
okay
point.
with it. Are you okay with spanking?
So I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
If out of all of this, if I'm wrong, then I'm in the same situation that you're in. If you're wrong,
but the difference is that people are arguing the subjugation of all sorts of groups of people on the basis of something that they can't empirically show to exist whatsoever. And so the end result is that there are millions of people in the world that are empirically making the world a worse place, all on that basis. And the problem that I'm having is, if we're wrong about the existence of God, we just made the world a worse place on the basis of something we can't show to exist. However, I suppose if you're right, you get what? You believe that you would go to heaven because you subjugated groups of people or pretended that they didn't exist, effectively going against Jesus Christ himself and what he had taught?
That's wrong.
Yeah, it is. There's so many Christians that say there's man and woman, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Being gay is an abomination. Thou shalt not lay with a man as though would with a woman. Yet I see them wearing mixed linens, right? So if we even acknowledge like Leviticus or something, I have to sit here and acknowledge other verses of Leviticus, which people openly ignore. The end result is that you're basically on the basis of Scripture wanting to subjugate a group of people. And the end result is that if you're wrong about God, we are making the lives worse for millions of people. We would be the assholes. The people that worship the God and subjugate gay people are the assholes.
Wrong. Okay,
yes,
so
I'm saying under the predicate. Under the predicate that God does not exist, the Christians would be the assholes. They would be.
No. All right.
How so? If God does not, can you hypothesize that God doesn't exist? Can you hypothesize? I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm saying, can you hypothesize that God does not exist?
Everyone heard this conversation start out, and I had a clear question for you. And rather than addressing what I wanted to talk about, which you asked me, what do I want to talk about? You decided to pervert it and twist it into, now we're talking about Christianity and whether the beliefs align.
I'll be honest. I've been
with
cooking
morality.
I've been cooking. Listen, I'll grant you this, right? I've been cooking up. I thought about this argument. a bit back, and I was like, that's an interesting argument. And I was just curious because I've, talked with lots of Christians, but I haven't had the chance to kind of bring this one up. And you're my first patron that is a Bible believer, and so I thought that I would try it out on you. That's so you're the victim here. I apologize, but I'm genuinely seriously. If you hypothesize that there is no God, right? Just operating under that premise, if there is no God, Christians would be the asshole, wouldn't they?
No.
How so?
Well, if we look at it and if I was to surmise that there is no God, it would be an irrational thought that there is no way to look at the order and design and say that there is no God. So I would never, because God gave me a rational mind, I would never say that there is no God, because that would go against my rational mind. And if God has a rational mind,
you're not answering my question. You're not addressing my question. You're not understanding my question at all.
If God has a rational mind and he gave us a rational mind because we were created in his own image, there would not be a place to imagine that God does not exist, because order and design would cease to exist.
You're not addressing my question.
That's the answer. I said I will not entertain that because
so you're incapable of understanding hypotheticals.
Sense.
Got it.
No. That's not a hypothetical.
Yeah, I proposed a hypothetical. The hypothetical is God does not exist, right? And if God does not exist in this alternate universe, then it is fair to say the Christians would be the asshole, wouldn't they?
No, because
Why?
If God doesn't exist, you couldn't call us the assholes, because it would be up to each individual with how they wanted to live their lives. So as an atheist, you don't have any ground to stand on because you would have you don't. Because
yes, I can assume a non-anthropomorphic. Hold on. Yes, I understand how the first cause mover argument works. I can assume a non-anthropomorphic first cause mover, or I could also assume big bounce. Both of those are mathematically possible. So now that we understand that it is possible for there to be a universe without a God, hypothesize in your head that there is no God in that universe, or creating any universe. If that were the case, wouldn't Christians be the asshole? You said no, but how? How are they not the asshole if they're just subjugating people based on something that does not exist?
Because there is no universal truth. Therefore, everyone lives
You're not understanding
their life
at
how
all.
Want,
yeah, you're just
to live it.
Yeah, you're just
so
you're incapable of doing
you
it.
wouldn't be able. Okay.
You can't do it. You're doing the same thing. You're positing that God must exist, but I'm telling you under a hypothesis that's not possible. Okay, this is just the hypothetical. It's operating in a I'm not asking you to believe in that thing. Okay, I'm operating. Non-anthropomorphic thing makes universe, right? And if there is a group of people that believe God exists, but God literally does not exist in this hypothetical, that would make the fact that there are people subjugating people on the basis of a God does not exist, that would make Christian the asshole.
No, right? In your argument, because that's what makes your argument work. I totally, completely disagree, because at the end of the day, Christians would still, but there's not a rational argument to make that God doesn't exist, because all other arguments that follow after that, all other arguments that follow after that would be up to the individual. Right. So you would have no ground. You would have no ground to stand on to try to tell me that I'm wrong or right or you're wrong or you're right. So let's not get into that hypothetical and simply address what I called in here to talk about.
Yeah, this is the Darth Dawkins
but
argument.
You can't.
Yes,
you can't.
Yes,
you can't, dude.
Here, I'm going to help
cannot.
you out. I'm going to try it one more time.
You asked me what I wanted to talk about,
and you're going to understand what I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna tell you exactly
Glenn
how
over
it works.
Here. Watch the chalkboard. Watch the chalkboard.
Yep, I'm gonna have you watch the chalkboard. Chalkboard coming right out. Just you wait. Chalkboard coming.
Glenn Beck.
Chalkboard's coming. You're getting the chalkboard. Okay.
Yep.
Wild that I.
Like I said, everyone watched, everyone heard, and everyone heard you ask me, what do I want to talk about? But instead of talking about what I wanted to talk about, you decided to
it's kind of entertaining.
Into this.
To be fair,
classic amender. Classic amender.
Why do you gotta make it like personal? I'm just talking to you. Relax.
It is personal, dude.
Why is it personal to you? Why are you treating it like you're the one being attacked here? I'm not attacking you at all. All I did was provide a hypothesis. Yeah, I'm bringing out my chalkboard.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
I don't want to engage with your hypothesis.
So here we go. Yeah, because you can't. Yeah, because you can't do it.
I want to engage with what I asked.
So I'm asking you, right? So here's the thing.
Do you want to talk about what I called in about, or no?
In your hypothesis, right?
I will hang up and let you go over your chalkboard thing or chalkboard thing.
Did you just
but if you want to talk
quiet
about
and
what
listen for a sec?
Talk about, then we'll talk about it. But I have no interest in talking about whatever you're going to draw on your chalkboard.
All right. So here we go. All right. So you hypothesize the first cause mover to be God, right? And the properties of God is that he has a mind, he thinks about us, right? And then he loves us too, right? The problem that I have with this concept is that this exists beyond universal space-time. Right? Because it has to create universe, and so therefore would exist beyond space-time, right? It's immaterial and whatever. However, it has a mind, it thinks. You're possessing all sorts of anthropomorphic properties to something that exists outside universal space-time, right? And so I posit non-anthropomorphic first cause mover, right? And so it doesn't think, it doesn't make things, it doesn't love us. It doesn't consider us anything. All it does is mechanistically makes universe. Okay? And so the idea of there being facts would be possible under a non-anthropomorphic existence, right? Because this thing still predicates all of those things, but it doesn't care about us. Okay? So I'm asking you, posit that this is the truth. That the reality is that there is that it is a non-anthropomorphic existence. So I can predicate facts. I just did it. Okay. It's a non-anthropomorphic first cause mover. Now that we know that all facts can be predicated off of a non-anthropomorphic first cause mover, I ask you, given the fact that there is a universe that has no God, but there exists a group of people that subjugate people on the basis of something that they cannot prove exists, that would make them the asshole. Wouldn't it not?
No.
Okay. Why?
It points to the order and design of the universe.
You can't do
it. So it would be illogical to come up with a hypothetical that discredits that. That's not what hypothetical.
Bro! Oh my God. Gucci. I spent all that time trying to explain it, and all he did was just repeat the same thing. Oh my God. Man, I haven't had that discussion in a long time. That like the facts discussion. What is it called? It's called presuppositionalism. Yeah. This is one of the that would have been the video of the week. All right, Mama Pack wants to talk. We're gonna invite him to speak. Come on up, Mama Pack. How you doing, Mama Pack? How you doing? This is Pune. The hypothetical is simple. Pune, you all right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't expect you to bring me up here. That was just very funny. And also, wait, this.
In MDD, I ejaculated with Jesus. What are you doing? Stop. Do you want to actually talk about something or just play with your sound?
I actually can. I want to make a hot. Where's your hot takes list at? I want to actually find it.
All right.
Also, hi YouTube. Amender's cool.
Hot takes list. Hold on. Did you understand my argument? Did it make any sense to you?
Your argument made plenty of sense to me. Like,
okay.
I get it. It's true. And then I don't get this, I feel like whenever people...
and I knew that it would go down in that direction. That was one of my potential, hypothesis. I said I was going to bring up this argument to a religious person. And I said, there is a non-zero chance that they're just not going to accept the argument on face value, that it is impossible that God could not exist. Like they can't even operate in the hypothetical, assuming God not existing. Right? It's that. It's that bad faith.
No, what I really don't stand about the bad, the way that it is, James Tour?
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is such it's so weird. He's so fucking educated,
all right.
And
I posted it in side chat.
All right, I'm gonna check this out later. But he never makes any papers, and all he's done, and he tries to and he's got this fucking rivalry with a fucking YouTuber.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And
I know what you're talking about with Professor Dave.
With Dave, yes, yeah. Dave Farina, the fucking goat.
Yeah.
And
did you know I actually had him on for an AMA?
You did?
Yeah. Yeah, I have an old video with Professor Dave on in an AMA. Maybe I gotta do that again. I gotta
It's like everything he touches, he destroys, in the best way possible. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What? Oh yeah, Professor Dave, he's huge audience.
Yes, he is.
I honestly,
he's incredible.
He didn't advertise my server at the time, which is sad. I was like, oh man, come on, I wanted an AMA, but yeah.
I think you'd have you ever considered trying to work with Planet Peterson? He's a lot smaller than Dave, and he does TikTok debates all the time.
Yes, and I have and I've also had him on AMA.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
I just reach out to these people. The one person that I've been unable to, and I've tried so many times, is Aaron Ra. I love Aaron Ra. I think he's great. I think he does great work. And he just, I don't know, he just doesn't, he doesn't like Discord.
You should invite Nephilim free to this server.
I apologize. Hold on. I gotta turn on my do not disturb. Yeah, because people say, let me call. Anyway, I'm gonna move you to the audience. It's nothing against you or anything, Pune.
Hey, yeah, you're good. You're good.
We gotta have contenders, not people that agree with me.
Bring it, shut.
So that's a genuine question, though. I find it interesting that it's we should be able to hypothesize the possibility that God does not exist. And assuming God does not exist, Christians would be pretty bad people when you really break it down. When you think about what it would mean to be a Christian in a literal godless world, and you subjugate entire groups of people under that basis, that would be really bad. I'd be okay, hold on. So then the secular humanists would be correct. The atheists would be correct. All of the people that want to establish more rights for people and make life better for people would be correct. We are, of course, taking calls. 202-998-5218. Same said, let me call in, Dorkwad. Dude, it's open. Call in. It's open. Call right in. It's open. Anybody call in. Come on. Joachim says, Christ is king. Yeah, except I don't believe in God. I don't believe God exists. You're on the line with First Amender.
Hey, man.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? What was your name?
Derek.
Derek. All right, Derek. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, are we live?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, you came up my feed, and it's a debate a woke person, so that's what I'm here to do.
And I'm woke as heck. I'm about as woke as it gets. I really am.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Honestly, it's not bad. I don't like Donald Trump and what they're doing. So that's probably the only bad part, is that like I'm not represented in terms of like the general politic.
You're not represented in what way?
Well, I mean, like, for example, I see that trans people are being subjugated left and right. Even the very fact of like using a public restroom, which is something that is treated as pretty ubiquitous among all people. Trans people have a difficulty with that. There's increased hate speech regarding trans people and the
difficulty
LGBTQ.
in that they can't use a restroom?
Yes.
Like they're incontinent or something?
No. So how it works is, and let me put it to you this way. Let's say you're a trans person and you walk into a public restroom. It's actually quite often that trans people, they go out of their way to avoid public restrooms. But just so you're aware, people don't expect there to not be a public restroom available in the locations that they're going. They just use the restroom when they need to use it. They are free from harassment, free from any subjugation of any kind. However, when a trans person, let's say, for example, you have a trans person who is transitioned man to woman, if they are wearing, for example, feminine clothing, and they enter into the men's restroom, as in they go into the restroom that they're biologically supposed to go to, there is a non-zero chance that they get beat up because they are wearing feminine clothing. They will get harassed going into the men's restroom. And if they go to the women's restroom, then there's a non-zero chance that they get harassed by women, or they get harassed by managers or staff that they are using the wrong restroom. Or beat up. Both of these situations can result easily in them getting beat up. And so what a trans person ends up doing is that they just elect to not use public restrooms. In fact, they go out of their way to use the bathroom before leaving the house, knowing that it causes a ton of friction to not use the public restroom. But public restrooms are seen as quite typical among cisgendered counterparts, be you gay, straight, whatever, and as well as cisgendered. You can be rest assured that if you go to a public place, you have a right and access to a restroom. But because of how vitriolic the speech has become, trans people are effectively second-class citizens. And so that would be just an example of like, I don't feel that it's adequately being, I don't feel like I'm being represented at all.
Well, I know we get to the trans thing like immediately, but if you want to call them second-class citizens, then anyone who gets up in a bathroom, would you consider them second-class citizens?
Anybody that what?
Gets beat up in the bathroom.
That gets beat up in a bathroom for trying to use a bathroom?
I'm referring to like, a typical school age thing. I remember being pushed around the school. Bullying, regardless of sex, age, is quite normal with humans.
Okay. Would you say it is more or less prevalent to get beat up in a bathroom simply for using a bathroom among trans or cis people?
I don't think there's someone who's tallied that. I would guess.
You don't believe that there are increased hate crimes towards trans people for simply using a bathroom as opposed to a cisgendered person using a bathroom? I can tell you right now that empirically, the reality is trans people get harassed a lot using the bathroom simply for using it. Right? They're just using the bathroom.
Well, yeah, harassed or beat up. Maybe I missed.
Harassed, beat up. I mean, I'm saying like when you go to a bathroom, do you operate under the assumption that you're going to get beat up or harassed? Just curious.
You there?
Yeah. Do you operate under the presumption I had a question for you. Do you operate, when you go to use a public restroom, do you operate under the presumption that you're going to get harassed or beat up when you enter that bathroom?
No, but
Why?
I can easily do that.
Why do you enter in without the presumption that you're going to get harassed or beat up?
Because I don't act crazy.
You don't act crazy?
Well,
is like a trans person wearing a dress and deciding to use the women's or men's restroom? Is that crazy?
I'll let you talk quite a bit, man. I've been, pretty quiet. If you were to, yourself or myself, were to walk into a bathroom playing on my phone a very loud sexual porn scene, right? Do you think 9 times out of 10 most people would be offended by that?
Sure.
Okay, and I just say that, it's impossible to offend me, and I think people get offended or are dumb. My point being is that if you do certain things in the culture or society you live in, it's obviously going to elicit some kind of reaction, right, wrong, or somewhere in between. So whether you're pro or against trans, you cannot expect to be a dude who has boobs walking into a woman's bathroom and not elicit some kind of response, nor can you expect them to understand where you are coming from. That's absurd.
Why not?
Because I can walk into a girl's bathroom looking like a complete bloke, playing porn music, or not porn music,
Do you
porn
think that
videos and jerking
a
off,
trans person wanting
people,
to just use the bathroom free of harassment is the same as you playing porn on your phone really loudly?
Yes, in that, again, I'm not saying certain societal norms must be upheld. What I'm saying is if you are in a certain culture, when in Rome, right, and you do something.
Okay, so if the culture changed
not positive.
if the culture changed to not want to harass trans people, then you'd be okay with that?
I'm libertarian. I don't give a fuck what people do as long as they're not harming someone directly. So no, I don't. Now, whether or not I think that's good for society, that's another question, because there's lots of things that are good for society, and I think the biggest problem that we have as a society.
Are you anti-trans as a libertarian?
No, not again. Like I'm trying to explain is, I think people should do what they feel like they should do. It doesn't mean it's good for them. So,
why would it not be good for them to live as their authentic self?
Right? Would it be good if no one ever drank alcohol again? Generally, yes. Do I think that we should prohibit others? Because
I'd be pretty sad. I'll be honest.
I'm
with
a
you.
Muslim, right? Well, say I'm a Muslim, and health. I'm sorry, I drink a lot of alcohol. Health, it's not good for you.
It's not.
Okay,
I mean, in
I'm a
excess, it's not good for you. But I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking alcohol.
Hey, what's your name, by the way? I don't know your name.
First Amender. I go by First
okay.
Amender. I've been doxxed before, so yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I get it, buddy. Are you? I'm assuming you're for free speech. Called First Amender?
No, not necessarily. No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what your name is. Again, you just popped in my feed, and I had no idea. But yeah, I would say as a whole, and you can replace this with anything you want. Alcohol is detriment to society. I used to be a brewmaster, and I know that.
Well, I mean, we kind of looked at the detriment to society in comparison to like when it was illegal, and it was actually worse illegal than just making it legal. That's why we kind of
No, I completely agree with you. I'm watching Boardwalk Empire right now, again for the second time. It raised a bunch of bomb bosses. That's
right.
actually
Well, I mean, again, this is kind of walking away like my whole like position that like right now I don't feel that that I'm represented by this administration at all. And
okay.
I don't like to see
how
the subjugation of individuals who just want to live their life. I believe if there's, consenting adults, they have right to do whatever they want. I think if a man wants to wear women's clothing and prance about, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You're not hurting anybody.
I completely agree with you, First Amender. I can't disagree with that part.
And I think trans people should be able to use the bathroom they want, free from harassment.
So there's always that line, right? So you just brought up that part. there's always that line. And where does that line begin and end?
Where does the line
So,
begin?
like,
I think of it like the line is where your fist meets my nose. Like as soon as you start harming other people, that's when it comes into a different question.
You're
breaking up. I don't know what happened.
I said you sound like a libertarian.
That's because I used to be a libertarian.
Okay, what are you now?
I'm a Democrat.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. Well, libertarians have they unfortunately have no answer regarding foreign policy. They just kind of like want to live and let live, when that's not really physically possible.
A huge swath.
There's also like libertarians who like they want to they want to get rid of regulations, but then also there's like tons of regulations that empirically lead to better outcomes. Things like food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, the Pell Grant. There are programs like you can look at things like the MVPF, for example, as like programs that just like empirically make life better for like a lot of people.
Yeah, I get where you're going with
and
this.
it actually earns money
Can I ask you a question?
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, with my given life experience, I've been all over the spectrum politically. My upbringing, my upbringing was fundamentalist Christianity, which I don't agree with. I'm a Buddhist now. I'm actually retiring.
Okay, better.
Monk. But what
Stay
I
away
witnessed
from the Sri Lankans.
What'd you say?
Is my only.
What'd you say?
I said that's much better now, but I would say stay away from the Sri Lankans if you would.
Again, that's a huge. I mean,
it's a joke.
Picture you're painting there, but what I meant to go by this is, if let's say I'm a Christian conservative,
yeah,
and I think gay people should be put in jail. I don't believe that. I think Democrats should go in jail because I think they're retarded or whatever, right?
Do you
and
believe
I fight
that?
for that. But I'm giving you a hypothetical here.
Okay.
You can apply it to any group. I'm going to fight, lobby, gather groups to try to harm you. Let's say you are a gay Democrat.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to try to pressure you to live the way I think that thing should be. And
All
on
right,
the Democrat,
so the current Trump
liberal
administration.
Side,
okay.
well, can you let me finish? I've been kind of let you talk. I kind of want to get my point across, and then,
Just
you can
go.
do your thing.
It's okay. It's
The
just a little
Democrat, liberal side, progressive side, they do the same thing, and there's this constant fight. And then over the decades, you got this back and forth where conservatives gain momentum and they take more, and then the liberals gain, and it's this back and forth, and it seems insane to me. Whereas I think that we can find some common ground is, I think that trans people are sick in the head, but I care about them, and it's absurd for me to think that I need to control their lives. I'm almost done. That I need to control their lives to fit my worldview so I feel safe inside. The same thing with the Democrats. If you're a Christian and you believe that gay people shouldn't be gay and trans
How much
should be
is
trans,
this is the hypothetical, and how
it.
much is this is you actually saying the thing you believe?
It's a bit of both, because I did start out
All
talking
right,
about
well,
a
help me
conservative being
out with
conservative
the
and a
part that
Democrat
you
being a
actually believe
Democrat.
instead of the hypothetical.
Well, I did make that clear. Like, I'm getting there in that, doesn't it seem more morally acceptable to accept people for who they are, where they're at, without trying to force, lobby, and to control their lives through legislation, which I think is
Well,
what
I don't
this country
think
is based on.
I don't think trans people are sick in the head. Do you think trans people are sick
Yeah,
in the head?
that's totally cool. You think that? I do. So if I were to try to legislate,
Hold on. Did you say that you do think trans people are sick in the head?
Agree? Yeah, I've already stated that. I do think they're sick.
Okay, cool. So by that very
And I mean
by that
nothing
very virtue,
bad
I'm
by
sick in the head. Am I sick in the head?
Oh, are you trans?
Yeah. Am I sick in the head?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, you're
with that,
talking to me
so,
directly,
again,
so
this
am I
is
sick in the
informed-
head? Is there something sick
I didn't
about
know
me?
you were trans.
Huh.
Yeah, I would say.
Interesting.
And so your point of view is you're not.
Does it sound like that I'm a crazy person, or like I'm lacking of any logical principles here, or that that I didn't
Well, so I can say the same
spend
thing to you.
painstaking amount of hours reading and understanding all sorts of different logic, politics, economics, philosophy, science, religion. Am I sick in the head?
If you want to set,
Well, I mean, you're saying trans people are sick in the head, right? So you're talking to one. Am I sick in the head?
Yeah. I'm trying to explain. I'll let you talk. I like the back and forth. But if you want to set the parameters of what is sick in the head and what isn't, and let's say you are a completely competent adult, you're emotionally stable, all those things, you pay your bills, great, that's awesome. I don't think any human is just perfect, Jesus-like Buddha character. We all got to work on ourselves. So by me saying sick in the head, I mean in this one specific area.
Gotcha.
I have.
What's the one
friends.
specific area? Where am I sick in the head?
Coming from a Buddhist, I don't know what you know or do not know, but identifying with your sex or any kind of desire away from things or towards things creates mental instability and suffering. So if someone
Where did you get that?
really feels that I've been a Buddhist for almost 2 decades.
Okay, are you aware that there are trans people that don't have any mental disorders?
I mean, that's kind of a fallacious argument. Like you just said, there's trans people that have mental disorders. The end. Like what?
There are trans people that don't have any mental disorders, and so they wouldn't be sick in the
Let's say
head
it's true.
by your metric.
Cool. Well, let's say that's true. I'm coming purely from a Buddhist perspective. So if I'm a guy. If I were to say I'm a guy, I'm a man,
show
I'm a
me the
dude, and I
Buddhist
really
scripture that
identify
actually
with that.
says this. That would be wild.
Well, okay. Well, let me finish. If I said I believe that I'm a man, I'm so stuck to being a man and manly duties and all this, everything associated with typical male. The Buddhist said,
Roses,
the more you identify with anything, a job, a partner, a
Roses,
sex, even.
You probably know more about Buddhism than I do. I was wondering if you could shed some light into this. Is this a part of Buddhism? This is a first for me. I've never heard this being in Buddhism. Now, sadly, you will not be able to hear them, but if you have the stream on, it'll be about 12 seconds.
Yeah, I can hear them in this.
So go ahead, Vedic.
Honestly, I'm genuinely surprised by the comment they made.
Are you bringing someone on?
This is the first time I heard something like this.
Yeah,
This is
like I've
genuinely my
never
first time I
heard
hear something like this.
like a Buddha. Like I've always thought, like what Buddhists they argue is wanting to get closer to enlightenment and separating yourselves from these like things that don't ultimately. And honestly, like if anything, like trans people would exist perfectly fine under a Buddhist lens. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not aware of like some transphobic, part of Buddhism.
It's not transphobic. They never audit the Buddha.
Dude,
never
you
brought
literally
up-
just said I was sick in the head. You don't even know who I am.
I have a
said the
question
Buddha. I
to
didn't
the
say me.
caller.
What's that? Vedic?
Can they hear me?
They cannot.
Can
hear
they
you.
hear me?
I can do my best.
Okay.
But I'm just curious, like what your
Okay.
perspective, because I know I know you're not Buddhist, but you at least have more experience with this religion.
Yes. So genuinely
I mean, if
speaking,
you want, I can go a little more into it. But
Hold on, just give Roses a second because she's speaking. I know
Okay.
you can't hear her. I apologize. This may be frustrating on your end.
that's all right, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Roses.
Yeah. The way I understand Buddhism, and I don't know about like the religion aspect of it, but I am aware of the life of Buddha. Knowing him the way I do, it's coming to me like a shock, right? Just like Jesus Christ, he also has dealt with like women who are prostitutes, and he was like okay to interact with them. So so I don't think like he would have treated transgender people any differently.
While we're waiting, do you want me to give you
That's
a
my
15
opinion.
second,
That's my opinion.
I guess,
That's my
synopsis of what
opinion.
the Buddha would
And
say about
So
on the
so what
wait,
Roses
there's
just
more.
All right. Well, let me just relay what you just said to him. So what Rose has just said to me is that, people like Jesus Christ and the Buddha, they, were commonly with people such as prostitutes, as people. And so they were saying that they would, also be okay with transgender people, under Buddhist tradition or Christian tradition.
Cool. That's not my argument. So why is she saying that?
Well, I
never
mean,
mentioned
I just
about people or not talking to them.
Yeah. So the problem is that you're kind of going against your own teachings.
No.
Like the teachings of
because,
Buddha.
Again, I've taught and I teach to. So I have a partner who's a therapist, and she sends me clients who I help spiritually. She sent me trans people. She sent me gay people. Her brother is gay, and I talk and I help these people, and I talk with them. I see them.
Why do you need to help
problem with
gay
them.
people?
Well, no, I'm not helping them to not be gay.
Okay, good.
So
Hopefully
you're
not.
thinking of
What about trans people? Are you going to help them not be trans?
Good. Yeah, bad, good. That's all you're thinking. Christian, like this, Buddhist.
Well,
does
yeah,
not,
because it's like, okay, listen, the way that I'm looking at things.
You don't see it this way.
Yeah, well, the way that I look at things is that I look at things that lead to worse outcomes or better outcomes. And I'm seeing like people who dehumanize trans people on the basis of it's like a right-wing propaganda error. And what it ultimately means is the subjugation of people that don't even deserve it. They didn't actually do anything to anybody. They just are challenging social paradigms, and that angers people.
I get that. I grew up punk rock, and I was definitely an outcast. So I get that part. And like I said, I grew up Christian fundamentalist. I grew up Jehovah's Witness. I shed that skin a long time ago.
I'll let you finish, but I'll be right back. Sorry, I apologize. Continue talking because I can hear you. Go ahead. Keep going. You're good.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you kind of broke up. Well, it's actually part of me. I'm out in the forest. I would just say, like, if you give me 15 seconds to explain the Buddhist position, which is my position, is me, myself, or you, yourself, let's say you are straight, woman, whatever, if you identify with that, that's what caused you suffering. So this implies, not only implies it, he directly comes out and talks about straight people themselves. If you identify with being straight, you yourself are causing yourself suffering. So I'm not anti-gay. I'm saying that the mere identification with it is caused people suffering, so of course I'm against it. And by against it, I mean I try to help people so that they don't suffer anymore, which does require them to then drop identification with a sex, a thought, etc. You there?
Yeah, give me a sec.
Did he walk away from the computer? Okay.
Hold on. I'm coming. I'm sorry. I'm back.
Did you hear what I said?
So like from what I'm aware of, like it makes me question into like the cause of. I don't disagree that there are trans people that are suffering. So I agree with that and how it causes a lot of mental anguish. The question that comes to mind though is like what causes that suffering? And I believe that the suffering comes from, well, the subjugation of society. When you come out as trans, there is a non-zero chance that the following of these things will happen. Number one, you could lose your job for being trans. You will lose access to your friends for being trans. You will be ostracized from your family for being trans. You'll be ostracized from social circles from being trans. There is a non-zero chance that you go homeless for being trans because you can't find another job for being trans. You will also, there's a non-zero chance there's many trans people that end up getting involved in sex work which can either be legal or illegal depending on which way they go, simply for being trans, and worst case scenario, get involved in drugs because all of the following has already happened and the only area of your of reprise is to take drugs. All of those things can happen because of being trans. And the question is not really the problem of being trans. The problem is the way society reacts to people being trans. And so my goal is, hey, maybe change up society to where people don't react in this way and treat them as if they're humans.
I couldn't agree with you more. Can I challenge you on that, though?
Sure.
Okay, so being raised a Jehovah's Witness, I don't know if you know much about them, but when you leave, you are completely shunned. I lost my wife. I lost all my family when I left. So that ostracization part, do you think that I might kind of understand?
Sure, I would hope so.
To some degree.
I would hope so.
Yes, of course I do. It doesn't matter. And by that, what I mean is 100% of humans will experience pain, suffering. Even if you have the best of luck, you will experience quite a bit of pain and suffering and grief. And the problem is, and again, the Buddha taught this, if you try to seek to change the exterior of your life where you feel safe and okay, you'll never be safe and okay. The only time you can feel safe and okay is if you basically become a badass. And it doesn't matter if this person cusses you out, calls you names, doesn't accept your lifestyle, you are okay inside. And the only way you can do that is through non-identification of, if right now you could call me a name, and let's say it's even true. If I don't care, you can't harm me. But if I were to call a trans person right now, because I do believe that they are sick in the head, if I were to say that, a lot of them would be very
you gotta
upset.
stop with that, man. I'm first of all, I'm not sick in the head. Right? Like I don't have any mental disorders.
Okay, we can go off on that tangent. But I think you understand what I'm saying.
I'm saying, you're talking to a rational. Listen, stop for a second. You're talking to a rational person. Okay, I could talk to you. You could talk to me. We can have polite discourse. I haven't insulted you once.
I'm rational.
I have not insulted you once, right? But saying
no,
that to me straight to my
you.
face that I'm sick in the head, you could probably imagine that's pretty antagonistic. Right? You as a rational human being can understand how that's antagonistic.
No, I completely understand.
Like imagine if I said to your face that you're sick in the head.
Cool.
Right?
I wouldn't feel a single thing about it.
Well, but it's antagonistic.
Yes and no. But
what I need is you to at least empathize with that fact. Like, are you just completely devoid of empathy towards people?
No, quite the opposite.
Okay, so then maybe not say to my face that I'm sick in the head? How about that?
Okay, so let's say I went to war and I got shot in the head, and I'm retarded. I'm mentally retarded. I'm not using that as a slur or to trash on me. I can only use me because I only was offended.
There's no positive way for me to say sick in the head. I'm not sick. First of all, I'm not sick in the head. That's incorrect.
You gotta let me finish first, Amanda.
Okay, but I just want to drive home that I'm not sick in the head. I don't appreciate that.
Okay, let's say that's cool. Let's say that it is. But guess what? Some people are sick in the head. So all you are
but
saying
I'm not
is
sick in the head. Not all trans people are sick in the head.
Okay. Do you think right-wingers, any amount of them, are sick in the head for
Fuck
whatever
yeah.
reason?
Yeah, there's so many right-wingers that are sick in the head.
Okay, how
they
fucking
delight
dare
in the
you,
suffering
piece
of
shit.
people like me. They delight
I
in
am
it.
so offended right now, First Amender, you piece of shit.
All right.
Do you see where I'm going with this? Stop
No.
being a fucking pussy.
No, I
get
don't.
what I'm saying here. Come
No,
on,
I
man.
don't.
I like you, but come on, you get what I'm saying.
No, I
You're
don't.
fine with calling them sick in the head.
The problem,
because
the
they don't
difference
agree with
is
you.
acknowledging, first of all, it's not in someone's identity, an untiable identity to being a Republican or a Democrat. That's first thing, right? If you tie a political party to your identity that freaking hard, there's more problems with you than any name I can call you. That's number one. Number two is like you're talking about like I'm never arguing Republicans shouldn't be able to use the bathroom. I'm not arguing that we should make laws against Republicans that prevent them from existing. We should make it to where Republicans don't get health care. Like, maybe you'd be on equal footing if that were the case, but the reality is that that's all happening to trans people, not Republicans. And so when you're sitting there saying, well, saying Republicans is sick in the head is a completely different scenario than trans people are sick in the head, right? They're already subjugated as they are.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, the baseline. The baseline is that you get upset when someone calls your beliefs that, but it's okay for you to call other beliefs that, even though Republicans are, in general,
I'm going to give you the last word, but
members.
I got to be honest with you, man. Maybe you got to talk to like another Buddhist, because I've never heard of a Buddhist wanting to be transphobic. But go ahead, I'll give you the last word.
You just made an assertion. You made an assertion that.
Well, I mean, I am sick in the head, so the fact that I make that assertion, I mean, maybe I really am sick in the head.
Okay, so when I was shunned from Jehovah's Witnesses and I had severe PTSD so bad I'd wake up and I shattered my teeth. I have fake teeth in my mouth. I was sick in the head. I had PTSD. You're
maybe you should have stayed a Jehovah's Witness then.
And I'm doing the opposite of what you think, Person Man. I'm trying to help people like you because I was in there. I was sick in the head. I healed it through
people
Buddhism.
like me. What are you helping? I'm fine. I have a bachelor's degree.
You played the victim over a word.
I've got a house. I got a really nice computer. I got plenty of money in the bank account.
No,
life is pretty easy for me, man. Not gonna lie. Pretty easy. I don't really need your help.
People hear that. You said a word. I said a word. It got you upset.
Yeah. Well, maybe not say that I'm sick in the head. Maybe I'll be more polite if you not proclaim that a person who's perfectly rational talking to you as a person isn't actually sick in the head. And maybe you shouldn't apply your transphobic stereotype onto people that don't fit it. Maybe not do that. How about that? How about that for starters?
Transphobic people don't scare me. I hang out with them. I care about them.
Yeah, I know. You're a transphobe. I get it.
I just disagree.
Anyways, good talk, man. It's been 30 minutes.
All right, Person Man. Stop being such a pussy. Bye, buddy.
All right. Fuck these people. These people suck. You're sick in the head, Amender. You piece of shit. All right, hold on. The Briscoe says, you are far from rational, First Amender. Yeah, I mean, why don't you help me out? What exactly was irrational? All of it made perfect sense. We got First Strat who would like to speak. We're going to invite them to speak. How are you doing, First Strat?
Good, mate. How are you?
Hello, First Strat. What do you want to talk about?
So I just wanted to get your take on what happened to Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
He's sacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get your take on what occurred.
My take on what occurred. I mean, it's awful. I see that these giant companies would like to merge with one another and are likely going to need FCC approval. And they got information straight from the president as to that it is likely that the multi-billion-dollar deal would not go through if they end up going against the president. And so they elected to give Donald Trump what he wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I hold a similar point of view in the sense that I don't agree that he should have been sacked simply for having an opinion. And I've read what he said. To be honest, it didn't really seem that bad.
Yeah, no, he's probably one of the most benign people to even sack. I mean, what he said wasn't bad at all. It wasn't any worse than anything that I say. And he himself even argued not advocating any violence. But it's wild. I mean, it really is a double standard when you break it down.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, look, personally, do I think he's a good late night show host? No. Do I like his content? No. But then that doesn't matter. You know, it's whether or not like he's free to speak his mind, and he should be able to, right?
Yes.
And what I wanted to touch on with you, and I did mention in the side chat earlier, I believe this could present an opportunity for members like him and perhaps Fallon and other people like that to start their own shows independently and challenge perhaps these like mainstream late night talk shows and sort of divert audiences away, sort of like what Tucker Carlson did.
Maybe.
That could happen.
I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I mean, there's really not a lot of. I mean, there is some audience out there that is there on behalf of the left, but I mean, it really is a minority in comparison.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So I would like to see that happen because I think these huge cable networks, they hold so much influence. So I think it's a good thing if we see people come forward and challenge that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not sort of dominating the market, so to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
That's all I wanted to talk about, man.
No, yeah, I perfect agreement with you. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right, man.
You are not sounding like you are sick in the head.
No, Amanda, I don't think you're sick in the head.
I don't know. Could be sick in the head.
No, I don't.
I gotta start calling myself sick in the head for the next like week, just bringing it up for fun.
Yeah. All right, mate. Take care. I've got to go back to work. So
yeah.
Have a good rest day.
Yeah. All right. Good talk. Joachim says, "Give me the Discord. You can run trans people to run defense if you want, or admins." Well, I'm the owner. I banned you because I don't like racists in my Discord. How about that? But maybe I'm sick in the head. All right. Well, it's been almost 4 hours. It's 9:50. I kind of want to like vibe, just like not. Just chill for a bit. If you liked what I had to say, maybe you hate it. Maybe you just want to hate watch me, right? Consider a subscribe. I'm a really small YouTuber, so any amount, it counts. It really does. It really helps me a lot. I really appreciate it. And if you ever want to hang out or you want to talk or anything like that, join my Discord, discord.gg/First Amender. Do be careful, though. Be mindful of Discord community guidelines. I am pretty intolerant towards racist people, or if you make it an uncomfortable space for people to exist in, you can be rest assured that you would receive a quick ban if you end up matching that criteria. So just be mindful of that if you do end up joining my Discord. But if you like a nice, fun space where everybody can hang out and have a good time, my Discord's a really good place to do that. So appreciate you guys very much. And so this has been another day in First Amender. You will start to see my next stream is coming on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned to find out. I really appreciate you guys.